Hey guys, welcome to another WordPress tutorial by Zeilhan. Today we're going to learn how to make this absolutely stunning and beautiful e-commerce website. And the thing about this website that's just absolutely amazing, guys, you don't have to change much about it at all. Like, the design is absolutely beautiful. We're going to be using the Blocksy theme today. Actually, we're going to be using the pro version of Blocksy with Elementor. I want you to learn right now that even if you're not using the pro version of Blocksy, all their e-commerce themes are absolutely beautiful. So if you're not going to use a pro version, this tutorial will still work for you. So right off the bat, what we realize here is that we have a beautiful website, and we're also going to learn how to get content for our website. Content meaning that we're going to get the right kind of text for our e-commerce website that's going to attract the right customers, and it's going to kind of show away those who aren't good customers for a business. You're not going to know just now because we have just started the tutorial. But as you go into the tutorial, you're going to learn that all the text that we've used right here is text from ChatGPT. And the beauty about this text is that ChatGPT made this text for what we call our ideal customer, which is basically a rundown of who our best customers are. So we build a website to attract more of those customers so we can make more money. And those who don't normally spend a lot and normally take up all the support time, we kind of get rid of those customers. This text is optimized for that. What that means is that your website, after you've gone through this tutorial, whether you've built a website before or not, is going to be absolutely optimized for you to get sales. Meaning that we're not just building a website here, we're also going to be learning about marketing. No, at the end of this tutorial, you're going to see a list of videos, and in the description of as well, a list of videos that's going to help you to get more out of your website. So go ahead and check those out in terms of email marketing and security and speed optimization and everything like that. So it's a 3.5 hour tutorials or thereabouts. So let's just go ahead and ensure that the website is actually working. So we're going to go to the shop. And on the shop, we're going to try purchasing one of these products. I feel like blue is really nice. You know what else we could have done? On the home page, guys, we could have also used the search feature, which is right here. And we could search for one of our products. Now, these are all dummy products. You're going to learn how to make your own products and everything of the sort. Let's just go with one of these bikes. And you can use this template to make other websites. So you could make a furniture store, you could make a clothing store. It works perfectly fine. And we're going to teach you how to do that in this tutorial. So we're going to say, let's go with the green version of this bike. You're going to learn how to do this as well. And let's buy 2 bikes. We have 2 children. We're going to buy 2 bikes for our children. And let's just add to cart. You can compare and wish list, but that's for later and for you to have your fun with. Viewing our cart, we realize that we do have 2 green bikes. We could buy 1 green, 1 blue, but we're going to just make it simple for now. What I've done is I have added a coupon code so I can check out. So I'm going to use a coupon code free. Let's go ahead and apply the coupon code. It's applied successfully. You're going to notice that the tax rate was there. It was 15%, I believe. And it actually applied a tax rate of $90 to this, which brought it up to $690 total. But because we've applied the coupon, all right, so I can actually just remove the coupon, guys. This is also part of the tutorial. So you're going to notice that this is the price. And in my country, we have something called GCT, General Consumption Tax. You always have to pay it whenever you buy certain food items or, well, certain products. Not every product, but some products. It's going to be applied here at 15%. It's going to do our taxes for us nicely. We can also do our shipping, but after I apply the coupon, so I'm just going to apply the coupon free. It's going to be a 100% discount just so I can check out. But after I apply the coupon, you're going to notice that it also removes the tax because the tax is applied to what you, the customer, purchases, not what the price was. So this is a discount. I'm not going to remove that because, I'm just showing that the coupon works. And you can use the coupon to generate leads for e-commerce store, like get 10% off. And then you'll have a list of leads you can use for email marketing to get customers in the future. I'm going to go ahead and proceed to checkout. And on the checkout page, we're going to go ahead and select for our checkout option, cash on delivery. Now, we're also going to have different options like pay with PayPal, pay with Stripe. I've taught you how to do that in this tutorial. We're also going to do bank transfers and pay via checks. I'm just using cash on delivery only right now, simply because I want to be able to check out without actually spending. So anyway, let's go ahead and enter our billing information. That's going to be very helpful for us. All right. This is our billing information. That's good. And we can go ahead and place our order. I believe this should be fine as is. And the order has been placed. 2 green bikes with a very weird name. And this is the price for both of them. It's added our GCT, it tells our payment method, it tells our email, and it's going to add our billing address and everything there. Now, the beautiful thing is that you can go back to the dashboard on WordPress and you can start to track your most popular products. You can track your analytics. So let's go to WooCommerce and you see all these settings to set up WooCommerce, but that's not the most important part. On WooCommerce orders, we're going to see the order that we just placed. It's processing. We can click on that. Having clicked on it, we can see the order. We can change from processing to pending payment or completed. And all of this will be available for you to use. The thing that I want you guys to understand is that this is a lot of work. Even though it's a 3.5 hour tutorial, you're going to need to do a lot more than what you're seeing right here. What I recommend that you can do, so let's say you actually want a complete website with all the work done, including the speed optimization, the security, the SEO, some lead generation, even email marketing built into that website. It's like a complete website. The only changes you need to do is change your logo, change your business name and contact information, and perhaps add your picture, like your personal picture. We've done all the work for you. You can go to kits.zeilhan.com. So you can go to kits.zeilhan.com, and on kits.zeilhan.com, yes, we are using the same template that we just used. You are going to find, there are going to be a lot more templates than what's here right now. You are going to find a list of templates for businesses that you can literally download the kit, change the logo, change the name, change the contact information. It is ready. It is also going to have email marketing built in, lead generation built in, everything that you need for a successful online business built in for a fraction of the price, because the complete kit is only $450 and it has everything. Over 12 pages. It includes even lead magnets and email marketing, like I said. Or you can do the full thing where we even host it, secure it, manage it, optimize it, maintain it for you for a one-time fee of $1,000. And that's going to be absolutely beautiful for someone looking to start a business. They don't have the money to hire a developer, but they want to work with a professional and experienced team like ours. So let's get started into the actual tutorial so you can actually learn how to build everything that is here. Or you can go ahead and buy one of these templates that we've made. You can also request us make templates for you, or you can hire your team. Thank you guys. My name is Jabez Roberts. Let us get started. All right, to get started, what we're going to do is we're going to get our domain name and we're going to set up our website hosting. The way we're going to go about this is not the way that they normally do it. And here's what I mean. In the description of this video, there's going to be a link to different website hosts. We're going to have Name Hero and a few others. What we're going to do is we are going to get our domain name from Name Hero. All right. So you're going to click on the link in the description. It's going to take you to Name Hero. Hopefully you don't have to go through reCAPTCHA like I have to go through here. And then it's going to take you to Name Hero. The domain name is going to be your .com, your .co, your .org. The name of your website, the website address. So google.com, namehero.com, that's the domain name. Most times it's going to be your businessname.com. So if your business is Pete's Pizzas, it's going to be petespizzas.com. And sometimes it can be .co.uk depending on what you'd like. And then after that, you're going to set up what's called hosting. Hosting is going to be the computer that is on 24/7 or the server that is on 24/7. That's going to make your website available across the globe. What we're going to do that's different, and I'm going to show you how to do it the regular way. We're not going to be using shared hosting, that is Name Hero. We're going to be using managed hosting, because the managed hosting solution we're going to be using is a little bit price flexible, but it offers a lot more power. What we're going to do here is that instead of using Name Hero for the domain name and the hosting, like most of the YouTube tutorials, we're going to go a little bit more advanced, where we can use more advanced and better web servers like Amazon Web Services or Google Cloud, for example. Or we can go cheaper and use DigitalOcean or Vultr or Linode. And we're going to get this by using Cloudways. So here's what we're going to do. On Name Hero's homepage, namehero.com, we're going to click domains. We're just going to purchase a domain. So I'm going to type Zeilhan tutorials. And I'm not going to be using .com this time. I'm going to be using .co.uk. I know I am not in the UK. So we have .com. That's added from my previous session because I was trying to set up hosting. But don't worry about it. It's going to be the same process. What I want is .co.uk. So there are different domain names. We're just going to go with the .co.uk option because it is cheap. It's added to cart. Now I'm going to click on the cart. I am going to remove the hosting that is there. So it says here that if you plan on purchasing web hosting with name here, and this is the most important part, because remember I told you that we're not going to be hosting with name hero in this situation. But if you're using name hero as a host, you click continue and then you can purchase your hosting and you can go from there. But we're not going to be using name hero. I am going to leave the name servers as is though, because I don't yet know the name servers for the host that I'm going to be getting. So we'll get that later. So this part right here, zeilhantutorials.com, is from the previous part of the tutorial that you guys probably won't see when I was trying to get hosting from Name Hero and it was not working. In another tutorial, I'll show you how to get Name Hero hosting. But right now it's not working. The checkout page is crashing. So let's hope it doesn't happen with the domain name. So zeilhantutorials.co.uk, email forwarding, DNS management. You can get those. This is just a tutorial for me. I don't need it, so I won't get them, but you can get them. You can read. It basically makes your website available faster and it makes you have all your emails in one inbox. Perfectly fine. Not a big deal for me. So we're going to continue. All right. So I don't need the .com. Let's remove that. No savings. We are going to create a new account. All right. So once you've created your account, all right, guys, so you're going to create your account, first name, last name, email address, etc., your billing address, and all of that good stuff. Once you have created your account, you're going to go ahead and select your payment method, enter your payment details, all right, and you have read and agreed to the terms of service, and you check out. And that's what it's going to be. I already have an account with Name Hero. I think I'm going to go ahead and use that existing customer account because I just need a domain name. I don't need a separate account. When I'm doing the hosting tutorial for you guys again, then we'll get a new account. So I'm just going to use the existing customer login. We're going to log in. Everything is as I'd like it. Read and agreed to the terms of service. And we are going to check out now. All right. So let's go ahead and check out. All right, order placed, continue to client area because we're going to need this section. Now I do have 8 domains here. I've had more, some are expired, some not so expired. We're going to click on domains. We are going to go all the way over to Zeilhan tutorials. Let me just make myself a little bit smaller. zeilhantutorials.co.uk. We are going to click on this one, click on it. And everything is as we would like it to be. No SSL, perfectly fine. We'll set that up very soon. So now that we have this set up, and remember guys, once you set up your account, you're going to want to go to your email address that you used, and you're going to want to get all the good stuff happening, like getting your confirmation code and everything like that. You can go ahead and do that. I already had an account. That's something I need to show you. Now for the hosting that we're going to be using this time is Cloudways. And Cloudways is it's something that I love because you can choose where you host your website, at which server. It can be Google Cloud, it can be Amazon Web Services for higher performance websites. So like my most important clients with like e-commerce platforms and so on, always AWS, always Google Cloud. Or you can go with something a bit more budget friendly. For this tutorial, we're going to use that. I'm going to be using Vultr. For now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a new account with Cloudways because I'm actually going to be getting website hosting. Now, Cloudways is very beautiful. I won't ramble on too much. We're just going to get started. So we're going to say start free. I am going to sign up with my Google account. You can just enter first name, last name, and so on. Everybody can do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use the Google method. So I'm going to click continue with Google. I'm going to select the email address. I'm going to continue. All right. So now I need to set a password. I'm just going to select a strong password. I will describe myself as I'm a lot of things right now. So I'm going to say digital agency for this person. Yeah, I'm just going to say digital agency. My hosting spend is 50 to 250. I agree to the terms of service, privacy policy. I am going to continue. To activate your account, sign in. All right. So submit details. All right, guys, good news. So my Cloudways account has been activated. Woohoo! It took a few days, but I'll show you the process. So to get activated, you just need to go to cloudways.com. All right, so you apply for an account, then you actually go to cloudways.com. Let me get my chat out of the way, and it's going to be right there. And when you go to cloudways.com, you're going to click send a message. All right, send us a message, go to verification. Once you go to verification, it's going to automatically apply with the instructions to get verified. So I literally did all of this. So I sent them the email account that I used to sign up. I sent them links to my Twitter and LinkedIn accounts. I sent them my company's website, which, Zeilhan.com. I sent them my ID. So I used my driver's license. And I also sent them my contact number. So I used two socials. I used my company's website. I used the email address, my driver's license, government issued ID. And within about 3 or 4 hours, I was verified. So we're verified. We are going to log in and activate. I understand the risks. Take me there. All right, this is good. So here's what we're going to be doing. Let's get started. Okay, so here it's telling us you can deploy more apps once your first server is ready. So to set up a WordPress install, we're just going to click next right here. And I'm going to call this, all right, go next. Actually, I need to name it first app. First app. I'm going to call this first server. And I'm going to call this startup project. I'm just going to install startup project. And we go next. So it's saying that I can only use DigitalOcean, AWS, and Google. So let's just go ahead, set up that. Select your desired server size. I'm just doing a test website, so I can just go with a 1 gig regular server, but most times you're going to go with a 2 gig high performance. All right, so I'm just going to go with my 1 gig regular server. Let's go next. So the location I'm going to use is actually Miami. If I can use Miami, it doesn't seem like Miami is one of the options. I'll just go with New York for now then. So try to a blazing platform with 3-day trial, no credit card. Yes, let's go on. I'm perfectly fine. You're all set. And so I'm going to launch now. And remember, this is a WordPress install. You can also go with a multi-site. So that's a WordPress multi-site, and you can go with a WooCommerce installation. So I'm just going to go ahead and launch now. So it's adding my server. All right, first server has been created. Our server is here. We have an application. So after you've made your server, this is the most important part. After you've made your server, so you're going to go to dashboard. We have a server right here. So we have a server installed. Here's what you're going to do next. You're going to click on your server. You're going to copy the public IP. You're going to log into your name here, client section. When you log into your name here, client section, you're going to go to DNS management. At DNS management, you're going to add at a record, and you're going to paste in the IP address and save changes. So this is what you'll have when you're done. Once you've done that, I want you to copy your website URL. I want you to go incognito and go to DNS checker. All right. DNS checker. You're going to paste in the URL. You're going to search the A records. The address that you see right here should be the same address from your Cloudways IP, and it should also be the same for your A record. And what DNS checker is basically saying to you, it is telling you that, all right, your website domain is available across the globe on this server. This is the IP address for your server. This is the A record for it. And that's all you need to do. If you go to Name Hero, or you go to your public register, your DNS, or you go to your domain name register, and they don't have the option to add the A record, open a support ticket, tell them that this is the IP address for your Cloudways server. You'd like to have them added to your domain so you can use Cloudways for your domain. Once that is done, you're going to go back to Cloudways. All right. You're going to go to your first app. This is your WordPress install. You're ready to use this. So you're just going to click on this. You have two URLs right here. You're going to have the application URL. If you click here, it takes you to the actual website. And if you click here, it takes you to the admin panel. You copy the login URL and you copy the password. You're going to paste it in and you can log in. So the next thing that you're going to do after you've seen the IP, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to copy the domain name. You're going to go back to Cloudways. You're going to go to domain management. The default, the primary is going to be this long, ugly URL that you can't share with anyone. You're going to do is you're going to add domain. You're going to paste in your URL and then you're going to add domain. After you've added the domain, it's going to appear, but it's going to be here. You're just going to right click and make primary for the actual domain. Once that is done, it still won't work because you need to have an SSL. You need to have an SSL certificate installed. So to install the SSL certificate, you're going to go to SSL certificate. Let's encrypt. You're going to use your email address. I'm just going to use one for the business, and you're going to paste in your domain, and you're going to install SSL certificate. Once the SSL certificate is installed, we're going to go to incognito. We're going to paste the URL. We're going to see if it works. And it works. Now to go to your admin address, you're just going to right click here. You're going to say WP admin. Once that happens, you're going to go back to Cloudways, access details, copy and paste your email address, copy and paste your password, and you're going to log in. And there you go. All right. All right, guys. So what I want you to do is I just want you to go to visit site right here and open in new tab. Because what we're going to have to do after this step is we're going to have to learn a little bit more about why our website looks the way it looks and how to get it to look the way it looked at the start of the tutorial. All right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to head back over to the dashboard. You can keep this open. And on the dashboard, there are a few things that I want to show you. This is our admin panel. We're not going to need a lot of these screens. So we just click on screen options. We are going to remove so have a quick preview. You don't have that. Remove this at a glance. And I think that's fine for now. And we can remove activity as well. Now, here is the website that we currently have. And it's not very beautiful. It doesn't look anything like what we had at the start of the tutorial. For the next 15 or so minutes, we're going to get it to look as how it looked at the start of the tutorial. So the first thing we need to learn is how to build not just a website, but a website that's going to get leads, clients, well, customers in this case, and it's going to make you money. And the most important thing is that you need your website to be visible on search engines like Google and Safari, meaning that when someone searches for the products that your website is selling, you need your website to appear. So what we're going to learn is what's called search engine optimization, SEO. Now, what SEO, search engine optimization, is, it's basically optimizing your website so that whenever someone goes to Google and they type in something that your website is about, so you're selling bicycles in this example, you want, or bikes, they might call them, you want whenever someone goes to Google and types electric bike, performance bike, racing bikes, whenever your stock is available or you sell these products, you want your website to appear to these customers and you get a sale. And that's what search engine optimization is going to do for you. To get started on SEO, search engine optimization, you're just going to go back to your dashboard. You're going to go to settings and permalinks. Settings permalinks is going to be the very first step. Ensure that you have post name selected and go ahead and save changes. Post name is just the URL structure that you see right here. And as you would realize, there are a few different structures right here. The best one is post name. It's going to do a few things for you. The first is that it's going to make the website easier to be found by search engines because it's human readable. And because it's human readable, someone on Google will be able to read the link, understand what your website and your web page is about. And then from there, it's more likely that they'll click on it. So you appear in the search results with search engine optimization. And a part of that is also getting the clicks. So you don't want someone to see your link or your page in the SEO results that they don't click. And Permalinks is going to help with that. Next place you're going to go is you're going to go to settings general. On settings general, we're going to change our site title. And we're going to call it Zeilhan Bikes. This is where your business name is going to go. So my business name is Zeilhan Bikes. And you're going to use a pipe. The pipe is the button above the enter key. All right, guys. So the button So the button above the enter key is the pipe. You're going to go ahead and use the pipe. Then you're going to use a descriptive word, something that your ideal client or customer would type into Google for your website to appear. We're going to go with the best performance bikes for hobbyists. So we're going to go with the best performance bikes for cycling hobbyists. You're going to copy the entire thing after the business name and you are going to paste it in the tagline. After you've done that, ensure that you have HTTPS right here. If you don't have that, go ahead and watch our tutorial again, because in our tutorial at the start with the hosting section, we show you how to get a free SSL certificate, and you're going to need SSL if you're going to be selling online. So this is our email currently. That's perfectly fine, I suppose. And we're going to change our time zone to Jamaica. I am in Jamaica, so change it to Jamaica. This is important because you want events on the website to be reported to you in the time zone that you're familiar with. So go ahead and use your location. I'm in Jamaica. I'm using Jamaica. I'm going to change this and I'm going to change this. And this is just a matter of preference, not something that needs to be done. All right, then go ahead and save changes. After we've done these changes, you can go back to your dashboard and reload. You're going to notice this information has changed a bit. Not by much, but we're getting there. The next thing that we're going to need to do is we're going to need to learn how to make our website more beautiful. And we're going to do this by learning about plugins and themes. The first part is about plugins. That's a bit easy. I like using the smartphone for this one because if you look at this is a smartphone. Very nice smartphone. Not many people like it, but I like it. It does what I need it to do. And for this smartphone, the interesting thing is that the plugins on the website here on WordPress are a lot like the apps on the smartphone. So when this phone comes, it doesn't have YouTube, it doesn't have WhatsApp, so I can't message, I can't watch videos. It doesn't have PayPal, I can't Venmo or Zelle or send money, stuff like that. So it's similar with your website. What I can do is I can add WhatsApp to allow me to instant message. I can add Venmo and Zelle, so I can send payments and receive payments, or PayPal. I can add Amazon, so I can go online and shop. I guess a lot of people are into Shein these days, Shein and Temu, so you can go ahead and add those. It's the same thing with your website. Add in plugins like apps on your phone, add features to your website. So to add plugins to your website, you're just going to go back to your dashboard. If you're here, you can just go to dashboard. And on your dashboard, you go to plugins and install plugins. You're going to see a few plugins installed. One of them is not going to be WP Servo. And the reason why is because I added this plugin. But let's find out what this plugin does. This plugin is WP Servo, anti-spam, and malware scan. Actually pretty good. And what this plugin is going to do for us, it's actually just going to go ahead and secure our website from spam and malware and hacks and all those good stuff. Those not so good stuff. Bad actors, we would call them. So this is good. What we're going to learn now is how to actually add a plugin. And it's very easy. You can go to plugins, add plugin, or if you're here, you can go to add plugin. And I was talking about Venmo and Zelle and Skrill. So just go ahead and add the PayPal plugin. So you can just go right here and you can type PayPal, and that will do some payments for us. You can also do Stripe. And it says here WooCommerce PayPal. All right, so we can install right now. But the thing is that it requires additional plugins. So I'm going to go with something else. Let's try another plugin that doesn't require WooCommerce. By the way, at the end of this tutorial, you're actually going to have PayPal set up on our website to accept payments. So it's just delaying what we're going to do. Let's go with Venmo. I'm not sure if Venmo is actually a plugin right here, but I'm pretty sure we can find something. Give WP. Let's add this donation plugin. So we can just go ahead and install now. After the plugin is installed, we go ahead and we click activate. And after activating, we're going to see a screen up here that gives us the setup. But we're not going to set this up. It's just a tutorial. So that's how you add plugins. It's the same where you can go ahead and type different features and services, and you'll have something. And quite interesting. For Give WP, we can actually use Stripe and PayPal, which is that's pretty good. So we have Give WP. We're not going to be using it. We're not using it anymore. Security tip: if there's a plugin on your website that you're no longer using, not only should you deactivate it, but you should also delete it. So how do we do that? Well, you're going to go to plugins, install plugins, and you're going to see a list of plugins here that I'm not using. One of them is Give WP. Just going to go ahead and first deactivate it, and just go ahead and deactivate. I don't know why they do this because they didn't ask me why I'm using their plugin, so why pester me when I'm trying to get rid of it. That's actually a bad design for you software engineers out there. It's called dark designs. Don't do it. It sucks. Go ahead and deactivate. And after we deactivate, you're going to go ahead and you can click delete right here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiple select and I'm going to uncheck the ones that I do not want to remove. And then I'm going to bulk action and delete. Then I'm going to apply. And from that, we're going to be able to remove all the plugins that we no longer need or we're no longer using. That's good. Now, the next thing that we need to look at is we need to look at our themes. Now, the reason why our website looks the way it looks is because of the theme. So what is a theme? Well, this is an Android phone. And this is how an Android phone looks. All right. Not very exciting, but this is the interface. If I were to have WhatsApp on this Android phone, it's going to look a little bit different than WhatsApp on iPhone. And that's how it is for most apps at times. Sometimes the way it looks on one iOS, one operating system like Android OS or iOS is going to be different. It's the same thing with your theme. The theme is like the core file that determines how your website is going to look and how it's going to function. And that means that your theme, your choice of theme is going to be very important. So let's learn a little bit more about that. Go back to your dashboard and go to Appearance and Themes. This is where you're going to see a list of your themes. Currently, we have the 2025 theme activated. This theme doesn't look very good, I'll be honest, but it gets the job done. If we had the 2024 theme activated, we can just open a new tab and that will show us what it would look like or how our website would look. This is how our website would look with the 2024 theme. At some point in the future, you might see a 2026 theme on your repository. That's fine. These are all just default themes that come with WordPress. Anyway, what we're going to do is just going to go ahead and close this one. And after we've closed it, we're going to go ahead and head back over to themes, and we're going to remove the themes that we're not using. So keep all themes but one. At any point in time, you're going to need to have at least one theme activated, and that's fine. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to add a theme, and the theme we're going to add is going to allow us to have the beautiful website that we had at the start of the tutorial. Let's go ahead and add theme. After you add your theme, you're going to search right here. We've used a few of these popular themes. We've used Astra, we've used Elementor, not in tutorials, but I've used it personally. We've used Cadence quite a bit, but the one we need is actually Blocksy. Now, Biz looks quite interesting, but we're not going to use that. So for Blocksy, what we're going to do right now, we're going to just go ahead and click install. But if you don't see Blocksy here on a popular, what you're going to do is you're just going to go right here and you're going to search for Blocksy. And Blocksy is going to appear. You're going to click install. After you've installed Blocksy, you're going to go ahead and activate. All right. Now that you've installed Blocksy, you can go ahead and visit site. So this is our website looked first. When we've installed Blocksy, this is the changes that we've made. Now, as you realize, we have a few pages here that we don't need. I'm going to go ahead and delete those pages first soon. And the website looks different, but it's not yet what we wanted or what we had in the start of the tutorial. So let's go ahead and get that set up. First, I'm going to teach you how to delete these pages because these pages were only added because of the tutorial that we're doing, example tutorial of how to add a plugin, which is a WP donation plugin. So to remove these pages, you're going to go to Dashboard, Pages, All Pages. So as we go to plugins, I'll install plugins, and we're just going to multiple select, and we actually don't need any of these pages. So I'm going to go ahead and move to trash for everything that is here, and we're good. Let's go back to our site, and yes. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is you can go ahead and install Blocksy Companion, but this is the free version of Blocksy. Sorry. This is a free version of Blocksy, and we're using a premium Blocksy theme. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the premium plugin for Blocksy to allow us to use the premium Blocksy templates. But if you want to use one of the free templates, this is important. If you want to use one of the free templates, because this tutorial works for the free and paid versions, what you're going to do is you're just going to go ahead and install Blocksy Companion. If you don't see this message right here, and you want to use one of the free templates, go ahead and go to plugins, add new plugin, and under plugin, you're going to type, let me just close this right here. Under plugin, you are going to type Blocksy. After you've typed Blocksy, go ahead and install and activate Blocksy. But for those of us who are going to be using the premium template, go ahead and go to the link in the description below. It's going to take you to the Blocksy website. All right. So there's a link in the description that links to Blocksy. It's an affiliate link. If you use that link, we are going to get an affiliate commission that helps out the channel actually, because we're trying to grow right here. But if you don't want to use that, that's perfectly fine. What you can do is you can just open a new window and go to Creative Themes. Under Creative Themes, we're going to see a few starter sites right here. The one that we're going to use is this one. Notice that it is Pro. So what you're going to do, guys, is you are just going to go ahead and get one of their plans. So let's go to pricing. And you can go with annual plan. You can go with a personal, and you can buy now. All right. But for me, I already have one, so I'm not going to go ahead and grab this. You can go ahead and grab it. All right. So go ahead and grab that. Once you've grabbed it, we're going to meet up again in the account section. I'm going to log in right now. And now that we're here, you're going to go to licenses. Notice that we have this right here. But I'm going to just go to downloads, and we're going to download the version that is right here for Blocksy Companion. Meanwhile, this is just telling us under licenses where I have the license installed. All right. So under download, let's go ahead and download one of these versions. Copy your license key. All right. So you've copied the license key. Click done. And after you've clicked done, you're going to be able to download the Blocksy Companion Pro version. After you've downloaded Blocksy Companion, you can close this tab right now. And you can go back to your plugins. You're going to upload a plugin. And after you've uploaded the plugin, you're going to just grab the downloaded file just now. So I've dragged and dropped. Go ahead and install now. After we've installed, I think we're going to need to activate. Go ahead and activate your plugin. And you're going to input your license key right here and activate your license. After you've activated your license, now this is important because this is what we started our website with, and this is what we currently have. Now we need to actually move over and get to what we had at the start of the tutorial, which is this, right? So we're going to go ahead and click on this plan. Now, here's the thing. You can use one of these other templates if you would like. It's the same process. So learning this tutorial for the most part is going to help you with these other templates. And you can use a free version of Blocksy, one of their free templates, if you don't want to use the premium version or you don't have the money to buy the premium version. And we're just going to click on import, install a child theme, go next. I'm going to use Elementor, go next. WooCommerce and Elementor, all these things, we're going to leave them as is. And we're going to go next, and we are going to install. Now that this is complete, you're going to go ahead and view site in a new tab. Remember that this is what we started off with, and it wasn't very exciting, wasn't a very beautiful website. Once we installed Blocksy theme, this is what we had afterward. And now that we've installed the starter site, this beautiful thing right here is the website that we currently have. Now, interesting thing is you can go ahead and copy your URL. Let's copy. And you can share this template with your friends and family. And that would actually be your website that they're seeing right there. Absolutely beautiful, absolutely marvelous, absolutely stunning. Wonderful, if you ask me. Now, what I want you guys to notice is that we have a website right here that is actually pretty beautiful. It works really well. It's very responsive. It's actually an awesome website. But this is not yet your website, in quotes. What I mean by that is, even though this is a beautiful website, it doesn't have your logo. It doesn't have your product pictures. All right. It doesn't have your contact information and doesn't have your address and so on. So we're going to learn to do right now is we're just going to do a few things. The first is that we're going to change the site icon. So the site icon is this blue W that you see right here, the WordPress logo that's in the tab. We're going to learn how to change that. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to change the logo. After changing the logo, we're going to learn how to edit the header, which is right here. We're going to learn how to change the footer, which is all the way down here, or how to edit the footer. We currently have a color scheme of yellow and black. What if we want to change that color scheme to something else? Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to learn how to change those colors. Which colors should you choose? We are going to learn about branding and marketing. Branding specifically is going to talk to us about the colors and typography that you're going to use. It's going to tell us a little bit more how to build something that is worth buying. Because it doesn't make sense for you to have sales and discounts just because you want, make money. It's not going to work. That's not a good long term strategy. So we're going to learn all of those things: colors, typographies, logos, site icons, edit the header. We're going to learn to edit the footer. Then we're going to learn how to edit the template. After we've learned to edit the template, we're going to learn how to make products. And we are going to do a test sale, and everything will be okay. All right, so let's go ahead and do those things. By the way, the contact page hasn't loaded yet. All right, let's go ahead and close that. Let's head back to, yes, we're going to learn how to change this logo, site icon, edit the header, edit the footer, change our typography, which is this thing right here, our fonts, and change our colors. So let's go, guys. All right, guys, so let's just go ahead and change the logo and the site icon. To do that, if you're here on the front page, all you need to do is just click on customize. All right. If you're here, just click customize. If you're on the dashboard, so I'm going to show you the second way how to get to that area of the WordPress editor. If you're on the dashboard, we have an update available. And we can update our WooCommerce database. Once you see this message, you're going to see it a few times. Very easy to be done. And let's just get back to the tutorial. So let us say that you're on the dashboard and you want to get to that section of the website I was telling you about. The thing that you want to do is you want to go to appearance and customize, right? So from the front end, you can just click customize, or from here, you can go to appearance customize. And that's going to do something amazing for you. So here we are, and what we're going to do is we're going to scroll all the way down to site identity of part of the WordPress core. We're going to click on site identity, select site icon. Now, we don't have our logo here. What you can do is you can actually hire a team to make your logo and your branding kit for you. That's very easy. Just use the link in the description below to set up a consultation with our team, or you can send us an email. But if you have your logo and your branding kit, go ahead and click upload files. You select your file. You select your file and upload it. I have a few different versions of my logo I'm going to work with. And what you're going to do next is just select the logo that works for you guys. So I'm going to use a white version. Just go ahead and select. And there is a logo here, believe it or not. So I'm just going to go ahead and crop image. Not much is going to happen. You're going to see this change. There we go. So it's changed. Go ahead and publish those changes. The next thing that we're going to do, like we promised, we're going to change our logo. To change our logo, we're just going to hover over this section right here. This is the easiest way to go about it. So just hover over this section here. We're going to click on these three dots. We're going to have the opportunity to change our logo. Just click on the logo. So there is a black logo that is there. I'm going to go with one of my black logos first. So let's just go with this black logo right here. Then for the transparent logo, now here's the thing. You notice that we have a black logo here, and the logo still hasn't changed. And that's because it's a transparent logo that is here. And this is just our general logo. And the thing I like about this site is once we scroll, we can go ahead and make it so that the header, which is this section right here, is pretty much sticky. So like it stays. So if though we're scrolling, we're still seeing the header wherever we are on the website. So I'm going to show you how to do that soon. So we're going to change the white logo as well, which is for the transparent state because our transparent header. Let's just go ahead and do that. All right, just go ahead with our white logo. And there we go. Now, here's the thing like I was mentioning. So we can go ahead and make our header sticky. But what is the header? The header is this part of the website that you see right here and this part. And to edit this part of the website, it's really very beautiful. I'm going to publish my changes. Anything here that you want to edit, which is absolutely amazing, you just hover over this section and you're going to be able to click on it, and the option to edit it is going to appear. Now, the thing that you also should notice is that you can just go all the way back wherever you are, scroll all the way to the first section, and you're going to see general, click on header. When you click on header, you're going to see a list of elements. All right, so let me just go ahead and publish my changes in short, because I'm not going to save the changes that I make next, but they're going to be very helpful for you to understand how to edit your header. And then we'll take a look at the footer. And afterwards, we'll take a look at our colors, fonts, typography. All right, so we can go ahead and add a button. I like to have buttons, so just go ahead and drag it somewhere here. Notice that At the bottom part of the website, we're going to see 3 rows. We're going to see the top row, the middle row or main row, and we're going to see the bottom row. It corresponds to these areas here. And we have a logo here, which is this. Then we have a menu in the middle, which is this. Then we have account, which is, for some reason, this button or icon right here. We have the wish list, which is here. Compare, which is here. And cart, which is here. So we do have options, is what I'm saying, about how we can go ahead and edit these sections. We have more elements that we can add here. Notice we have 3 rows, only 2 are being used because we have contacts, which is this, and contacts, which is this. So we can go ahead and grab the button, just put it in the 3rd row, in the middle of the 3rd row, that is. And we're going to notice that the button is added. Notice that once you hover over the button, this little blue option appears here. And with this blue option, you can just click right here. And when you click right there, it's going to take you to the place where you can edit the button. Now, here's the interesting thing about this button. I'm not going to keep it initially. I might put it back. Or, well, I'm not going to keep it at all. We can change the text. So we can say, let's get crazy, I suppose. All right, so we've changed the text. We can add a link. So we can make this button go to google.com. This button is yellow at the moment. We can go to the design. We can change the color. Let's just go with alert red. And let's change the text to white. All right, let's get crazy. Sure. We can make a border radius. So let's go with 15. Or if we want, we can go with 25. All right. And once you hover, you're going to have something going on here. Let's change this to either blue once we hover over it. All right. And we can keep the text black if we like, but I prefer white for the text at that stage. And there we go. We have the button now. The interesting thing is that this is terrible design, guys, right? So don't do what I've done in this design, but this is how you will go about adding an element to your website header, and you can edit the element or customize how it appears. Now, the interesting thing about all of this is that what we've done here is what you can do right here. And you can go back, and on header, you're going to see all these elements. You can add these elements to different parts of the website header, sorry. And when you've added them to different parts of the website header, you can afterwards go ahead and make the necessary changes and customizations to fit your need. All right, so we're not going to go ahead and use this button because it's just horrible. Well, just for tutorial purposes. But I like what we have right there. The header is pretty much, it's set in stone as is. Now, the thing that you could do, you could add a search to the menu and to the header, sorry. And once you click on the search, you want to have the option to search through your website's database. So someone visits your website, they can just click on search and they can search for a product. What we won't do is we won't use a search icon that we just added, which is this one. And the reason is because I'm hoping that I remember this in a tutorial. The reason is because there is a plugin that you should use, or what you can use, to add a search feature to your WooCommerce website. That's going to be very helpful. And WooCommerce is the plugin that makes your WordPress website e-commerce. So WooCommerce, WordPress, e-commerce. All right, fine. So that's it for the header. For the footer, you're going to notice something quite interesting. If we scroll all the way to the bottom of the website, oh, I remember something. I did say we were going to do a sticky header. All right, guys. So to do the sticky header, you're going to hover over the main row. You can click on main row and just go back because that's not what we want. Under header, you're going to go to headers, global header, and right here it says transparent functionality, and that is what we see right here. It's a transparent header. But right here it says sticky functionality and it's deactivated. If we activate sticky functionality and keep this option, which is just going to be only the main row that is going to be sticky, and you scroll, notice what you see happen here. The header stays as it is. So let's just go ahead and edit that sticky header just a bit. So notice that we can hover over the section. There is apparently a logo here that we can't see. So I'm just going to click on this icon right here, like we said, and it asks for the sticky state logo. We can click right here and In the interest of branding, we can just go with the black logo that we've been using. All right. And there we go. I like to use the sticky state shrink because what the sticky state shrink is going to do is going to make the website header and so on. It's going to make everything appear a little bit smaller whenever we use a sticky state. So it's not going to be taking up as much space at the top of the website, and it's not going to be imposing. It's going to make it a little bit more subtle and easy on the eyes, and it's still going to be very helpful. So go ahead and activate your sticky state shrink. It's going to be 70% off the normal size is what it's saying. But I like to go with 75 or 80%. There we go. All right, so notice it's big and then it's small. And what we should do is I should make this logo a little bit bigger. All right, and that's a little bit too big, to be honest. All right, that's good. And there we go. Very small. So that's beautiful as it is, and we're going to publish those changes. And I think that is good. Now, for the footer of the website, there's something interesting. I think this footer is not editable from this section. Now, most times you do the editing of your footer from this area, but for this particular template, it's built somewhere different for the footer. I'm going to show you how to edit that right away. So just click on this X right here. After you've clicked on that X, I want you to go to Blocksy and then go to Content Blocks. On the content blocks, you're going to see above footer and you're going to see footer. So above footer, just click on View. Right click, open a new tab. And it's going to be this little section right here. We can go ahead and edit that section. To edit that section, you click Edit with Elementor. All right. We're going to see the footer, also Elementor. We can open in a new tab, and it's going to be this sort of section right here. So we're also going to edit that with Elementor. Now, interestingly enough, which is something I want you guys to notice, is that right now we're editing the footer by using the Elementor page builder. Normally we use that different part of WordPress that we were just now. We're learning a lot about our website development. Now we can just go ahead and recreate kit. Just do what I say, just click recreate kit. And after we click recreate kit on this page, we are going to click recreate kit and we're going to save changes. And we're going to go back here and reload. We're going to go back here and we're going to reload. And then we're going to close here and we're going to go back here. So just reload and go back to the window, guys. So here we are. We can go ahead and make some changes here. To just make changes real quickly, you can just hover over whatever it is that you want to change. We're going to learn a little bit more about this in the next section of the tutorial. So don't worry if you don't understand right now, but you can just hover over anything that you want to change. Just click right there. It's going to appear here. Highlight it, and you can say, let us get your dream bike. I don't like that dream is capitalized. Get your dream bike. Today we're going to do some style changes. And we're going to make the weight a little bit heavier. Will you look at that? I'll go with extra bold. That's not very important. So I'm doing it fonts and everything right now. All right, that's good. Get your dream bike today, and that's good. So you can just go ahead and publish those changes. I'm not going to make too many changes right now because this editing part is going to be best taught in the next section of the tutorial. So that's good. We just made a change right there. You're going to see that very soon. Go ahead and close that. We're also here, edit footer. We're going to change our logo, definitely. So just click on this picture and our image. Going to go to our library. We are going to use our white logo as usual. That's a little bit small. We can make the width. Ooh, wow. So there we go. All right, and we can change the height, but I think we're good as is. And that's good for the phone and for the email. You want to definitely want to change to your information. All right. I'm not going to worry too much about the newsletter at this stage, and I'll tell you why. The newsletter is going to be taught in the marketing section of the tutorial, which comes up after we've done the editing section, right? So we're not going to do too much here, but what we can do, and I recommend you do this, you just click right here. All right, and it says here, Blocksy newsletter. subscribe in a short code, which tells us something about it. This is a native email marketing or a lead gen capture form that comes with Blocksy Pro, and it's absolutely amazing. So that's good. We also have a menu right here, which is good. We're not going to do too many changes. We're actually going to leave that menu. If you notice, it's made using what's called an icon list. All right. So it's made using an icon list, and you can go ahead and rearrange things if you like. But I like it as is. Home about contact is how I like to do this part, and this is good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change the copyright text. It's WordPress tutorial. It's not a theme or theme. It's WordPress tutorial by Zeilhan Tutorials. All right, there we go. And what we can do is we can just go ahead and add a link to our website. All right, and for this link, we're going to open in a new tab. Right, so let's click on that and open a new tab, and that's good. And we can make it bold. That's good. And yeah, we can, hopefully. So we don't see the underline right there, which is okay. That's good. Yeah, it's not underlined. That's good. So we're good. And we just go ahead and publish those changes. We can click here for the social icons. We can add. So YouTube definitely has to be first. You guys are watching us on YouTube. Go ahead and hit subscribe. That's nice. And we can add. TikTok is the major rave these days. So just type tick. So TikTok is in here. That is absolutely crazy. So these icons definitely need. So go to all icons. I think TikTok is there. There we go. All icons TikTok, and we can insert. And TikTok is very popular. Let's put that right there. And Instagram. So we can go ahead and make those changes. Notice that we can go to style and we can change the colors and so on. The reason why I'm not going to do that all too much at this stage is because that's a part of the editing part of the website tutorial. You're going to learn a lot more about that in the next 20 or 25 minutes. Just go ahead and hit publish. And with that, believe it or not, our footer is actually complete. Now, here's what we're going to do. We are going to close this. Go back and we're going to visit site. We're going to notice that we have some changes. We're not done yet, but we do have some changes. And we have the logo. We haven't done much changes here. We're going to have to reorder our menu just a bit, but we're not going to do that right now, closer towards the end of the tutorial. And if we go all the way to the footer, notice, so here's what's happening. It says have questions, but what we edited, the have questions section was over here. So perhaps if we go to the about page, we might see that footer. So it's not being displayed on every single website. All right, so it says here have questions. And the one that we edited, I'm not sure where it's even being displayed. I don't think it's on the cart page, is it? And it's not on the shop. Home, about, blog, check out, contact. So I'm looking for where that is being displayed. It's not on the contact page either, but I'll show you where to find it very soon. Anyway, the rest of the footer is definitely edited nicely. So we're going to just go back to our dashboard. We're going to go to Blocksy content blocks. On Blocksy content blocks, we are going to see above footer for the shop page is what we edited. So if we go to the shop page, we're going to see that footer that we edited. And this is interesting because here it is, get your dream back today. All right, that's cool. But what we're going to have to do now is we're going to have to edit all the other above footer sections, which it's a lot of work, guys. This is why we request the amount of money that we request for websites, because this isn't even touching the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more left to do. All right, then let's just go away from here. And I want you to take a look at this website. Notice that we have the dominant color yellow. We also have some blacks on the website, some whites, some grays, some darker colors. It's mainly a yellow theme for the primary and secondary colors, which is quite interesting, a choice. It works in this website, actually. And the thing I love about the Blocksy theme, guys, and it's everything Blocksy at this stage. I love how beautiful their website templates are right off the bat. I love how much work they put into their designs, and that makes our job easier. The reason why I said is because right now we need to learn about building a website that's going to bring us sales and the like. It doesn't make sense for us to spend all this time, spend all this money, build a website, and it's not optimized for sales. So let's figure out how to do that. And this is part of our marketing masterclass. We're going to learn a bit more about branding and typography. So branding part. Branding is colors and typography, sorry. And then we're also going to learn a bit more about branding. Now, what is branding? Before I even explain why this matters. Branding is basically what happens or what someone feels when you tell them about your business or when they come across your website. It's the emotion that comes with it. Branding isn't what you tell them, it's what they tell you. It's the perception that they have, the connection, the relationship. And there's several ways to build a powerful brand. One of them is through the use of appropriate colors and fonts and typographies. Let's take a look at colors for now. Just go ahead and click customize. So you know how to get to the part of the website WordPress editor that we're going right now. So just go ahead and click customize. All right, so here we are. Now, the best way to teach colors is color type. Here we are. So the best way to teach colors psychology is just to go to colors right now. And we're going to notice that we have a global color palette as we are. So we're just going to go ahead and save that. I'm going to save the palette and it's saved. Now, color psychology tells us that the color that we use on our website for our business, for our brand, is going to influence the way our viewers, our website visitors, our customers, our clients, our patrons, it's going to influence how they feel about our business. And the best way to actually explain this is let me just go back home and make the changes here. So we're just going to go ahead and click right here, our color palettes, and let's switch to blue. And you're going to notice that the feel of the website is different. So go with blue, and automatically the website feels a lot different than how it felt before. As a matter of fact, it feels a lot more tame. It doesn't feel so excited. All right, so we're gonna change from blue. Let's go with something a bit different. Let's go with green at this stage. Color palette 2. Let's go with green. This is also a different website. This website actually feels like it would make this palette feel like it would be a really good palette for Land Rover, which is quite interesting. All right, then. So this is what we have right here, green. And again, the website feels different. So if we go all the way to the top of the website, all right, and we're going to use, let's try something a little bit more vibrant, some oranges and reds, different look and feel, different website. Absolutely amazing if you ask me. I love how you notice that different colors are bringing different emotions. So what exactly is happening? As we said, color psychology tells us that different colors are going to have different effects on us by way of our emotions. To learn more, you just go to Google and type color psychology. All right, so it says psychology is a scientific study of the human mind and behavior. All right, and that is not what we're looking for. It says color psychology. It is a study of how colors impact human behavior and emotions, including how they affect mood, perceptions, and even decision making. Now, interesting thing about this is that you notice that the feel of the website changed and it actually influenced how you perceived what is being sold on the website. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to my color palettes, custom, and just go back to what we had before. Different feeling. So go to images, all right, and we're going to look for this chart right here, color emotion guide. Let's click on it. I want you to notice that real quickly right off the bat, we have different colors, and different colors emit different emotions. So optimism, friendliness, excitement, creativity, trust, peacefulness, balance. These are the themes behind these colors, and they bring these emotions like clarity and warmth, cheerfulness and confidence, youthfulness and boldness, which is quite interesting for red. It's always vibrant and in your face, almost making you excited and energetic. And the purple is imaginative and wise. And these aren't just random words. You know, these words mean something because if you look at the brands associated with them, sci-fi is purple for imaginative and wise. Blue is trusted and dependable, which is why you have like a bank like JP Morgan Chase. You're going to have some of the tech companies like IBM, Facebook. WordPress is blue as well. And balance and calm. Now, the thing about balance and calm with the grays is also for the blacks, the whites, the grays. And these tend to be more in line with premium brands. So if you look at Apple, believe it or not, guys, is actually a premium brand. And they are using gray. Now, and they also use some blacks and whites. And if you look at Mercedes, I believe Rolls-Royce as well, a lot of these premium brands, they're using a combination of blacks, whites, and grays for their overall color palette. And you might think that it's boring, but it's actually a premium brand look. It's like you're saying that I don't need to try too hard. I don't need to be out there too much because I'm already amazing as I am. So that's very good, right? So the next thing that I want you guys to notice is that if you've if you have a color palette already, then you perhaps have a color in mind that you might want to change, you might not want to change. This is a very good way to go about deciding which one to use. Now we're going with a bike website. I think green would be a very good one. Notice we have Animal Planet, John Deere, Land Rover is there right here. You can't see it, but it's right there, and so on and so forth. All right, then, earth friendly. So let's say that we've decided that we're going to use green and red as our color palette. Green and red is actually for Christmas, but you get the idea. How to decide which colors or which hex codes to use? Well, go to coolors.co, and on coolors.co, go to explore trending palettes. Now we could start a generator. It's going to make something like this right here, but it's possible that it could cause seizures and epilepsy, and I don't want to do that to my viewers for obvious reasons, right? So if you want, you can go to the generator and you can use a generator. That's perfectly fine. We're just gonna go to explore trending palettes, and on trending palettes, if we're looking for a color palette with green, let's just move myself all the way. You can just scroll right here, and you're gonna find something interesting. Oh, so here's a green color palette. All right. That's good. And you might want to say, all right, I'm going to use some greens and I'm going to use some browns. And this is actually pretty cool, right? So you have your color palettes right here. And there's a purple, there's a blue somewhere right here, there's a yellow and whatever that color is. We have a green right here. Let's say we want to use this green. Just click on the green and hex code has been copied. Go back to your website and click on the color palette right here. Highlight and go ahead and paste. And notice everything changes. Next, we're going to go with a very light green. Just click right here and click on this yellow. Actually, what we should have done is use the light green here. And when we hover over it, we go to the dark green. That is what we should have done. All right, so that's one way we can go about it. All right. And then now, let us say that we want to get some blacks. We can grab a black and a gray right here. I'm not going to save these changes, guys. I'm actually not going to save these changes. So be careful if you're following what I'm doing. Use the colors that you want to use. I'm just showing you how to actually get this thing to work. All right, and you can go right here actually, which is quite interesting and whatever case might be. So we can get our grays from right here, or we can just go to the white and notice we're going to have the gray changed and such, so on and so on. So that's it for our colors. Now, the next part about branding that is important is what's called the typography. Now, for the typography, you're going to notice that something quite interesting takes place. If we go back, right? So I'm going to actually refresh because I want to keep as much consistency in the tutorial as possible. So let's just refresh for a bit. On general, below general, sorry, you're going to see typography. If we go to our typography, we have a bit of, let's go back home. We have our fonts right here. Now, the best thing that you could do is you can just use one of those fonts that are popular and they're actually here. The reason I say that is because you do not want to use too many fonts on your website, because here's the thing. If you use 3 different fonts in 3 different ways, that's 9 different scripts that's going to have to be loaded on your website every time it's loaded. And believe it or not, that actually slows down your website. It actually makes your website slower. So what I suggest you do, the font that we have here is pretty amazing. It's called Wix Metaphor Display. I could use the Enter font because I've had some success with that. So we can go ahead and it says it's a Google font, and you can go ahead and use that. I would suggest that you don't use the Google font sometimes because it can make your website a bit slower. But I'm going to use it in this case, right? And I love how imposing this is. Another cool font you could use is Montserrat. There you go. I want you to notice something. So Cormorant. All right, so this has serifs, which is these little. So it's gonna be on screen right now. It's these little things that are at the edge of the letters. That's the serif, and serif fonts are worked. They work well for brands that are old, traditional, premium, etc. And we have sans serif like Monster. They don't have the edges. These are more for modern brands, tech, youthful, etc. So the different fonts that you use can matter. Now, here's the thing: you don't have to know all of this stuff. We're in the age of ChatGPT. You can ask ChatGPT for a font for your website. Where you can even go to Google, and we're doing a bike website. Sorry, right? So we can just ask for best fonts for bike websites, best fonts for bike businesses, and it's going to say Monster at, which is what we have right here. It's going to say Open Sans or Railway, so you can just go with Rail. Oh, that's Rake. All right, so Railway is here. That's not bad actually. That's actually not bad. I like it for the menu. I actually like it for the menu, guys. It's actually pretty cool. Railway, and I thought it said Open Sans was also. No, Open Sans is very popular, guys. So we have Open Sans right here. That's cool. So I like Railway for the menu, guys. It's actually pretty nice, and that's why you can get fonts. Now you don't have to stress about it too much. Don't get too excited. If you don't want to do all this work, you can hire a team for that, like we said, and we can do a lot more for you actually. So it depends. Just have a talk with our team, or you can actually, which is interesting, you can download one of our ready made website templates. So what we do with these templates is that everything we're teaching you in this tutorial, we've done it for you. You just need to change a few text and that's it, if you even want to change it. And it's ready, like everything, even beyond what's covered in the scope of this tutorial is there. Now it's not free, obviously, because we do need to make these things and hire people. But for what you're getting, it's a very cost effective solution, might I add. All right, then. So the link for that is in the description. Go to kits.zeilhan.com and you're going to get something beautiful. All right, so that's it for typographies and fonts. That's it for branding. That's it for this section of the website tutorial. We're just going to close right here and just go back home. I'm going to close that. And then now I need to go home. All right, so here's what I'm noticing. Whenever, so let me just click on the logo. So it takes me back home. All right, so here we are. The next thing that we're going to have to do is, like we said, we're working on this website. It's not yet ready. It's not yet our business and everything like that. What we're going to do is we're going to do what they do downtown. So when you're going downtown, wherever you live, and a new building, especially a massive building, big project is being done, they bar off access or they restrict access to that building. You can't go there until it's finished. What we're going to do with our website is something similar, where we're going to prevent regular website visitors from seeing our website. And we're going to do that by using what's called under construction. And once we've done design our website, we've completed our website and it's ready for public access, as we'll put it, then we're going to remove the under construction. So let's just go ahead and add that plugin. Just go to dashboard. On the dashboard, let's go to plugins and add plugin. Then under add plugin, we're going to type under construction. So it's here we are. Under construction is right here. Go ahead and install now. After you install, go ahead and activate. All right, now that is activated. By the way, you can go ahead and always run your updates. We're going to do that a little bit later. So now it's activated. Let's just go right here and go to settings. Gonna close right here or dismiss. Choose one of these themes. You don't need a premium one. Just use a free version. That's fine. Let's see if we can find something a little bit outdoorsy, a little bit naturey, something for adventurers. I guess we could use the hot air balloon. Yes. Let's go ahead and activate. Now here's the thing, guys. We have activated this theme or design. If we go incognito, which is what should happen when we go incognito, we shouldn't be able to see the site. We should see the screen right there. It's not gonna work. All right, so we go incognito. It's not gonna work, guys. And it's not that the plugin doesn't work. We just haven't done the crucial step. All right, so just go ahead and close that, and just go to on, so we see the green right here. All right, so there we go. Then once we go back here and we visit site, it's not working, but I know why. Breeze. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the caching plugin because it's making things a bit too complicated for us. So we're gonna deactivate Breeze, and this comes with Cloudways. If you're not hosted with Cloudways, you're not gonna have this issue. Let's go ahead and deactivate Object Pro Cache. Object Cache Pro, however. Deactivated, and now if we go to visit site, we should be good. So we notice that it's working. Now here's the interesting thing. And I want you to take some time to listen to what I'm saying because it's going to be important. Your website is being built, right? And you're perhaps doing this for a client, perhaps you're doing it for yourself, perhaps you're doing it for a company, whatever the case might be. There are going to be times when you need someone to actually see the work you're doing. So you have a client, your client might want to see what's been happening, how far along you're coming, stuff like that. There are a few ways you can go about it. And normally in the tutorial, I will show you a few ways. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say to you that, let's close this right here. You can go ahead and just turn it off. And when you turn it off, you can allow them to take a look at the website. But the problem with that routine is that once you do that, someone who knows the website URL who you don't want to see it can... Is it off? It's off. So I'm having some caching issues. I'll tell you what the caching issue is. On Cloudways, there are multiple layers of caching. So that's kind of what's happening here. But anyway, it is gonna work because it's off. You're gonna see the website, and whoever else you don't want to see it, once they try to access the website at that time, and they're gonna see it as well. What you can do is I want you to go to users, all right? And go ahead and add a new user. Now, for the person you want to see, so let's say it's your client or it's your boss or whoever it might be, you can create a new user for that person, send them their information, but do not make them an administrator. Now, if you made them an administrator, so I'm an admin, if I try to view the site while I'm logged in, I will see the site and it will say to me that, hey, you are whitelisted. The message is not there because I've logged in already. It's going to say to me that I'm whitelisted, and because I'm whitelisted, I can see the cached version. So I'm just go ahead and turn it back on, and you're going to see that message. And it says here, it's enabled, but you're whitelisted, so you're seeing a normal site. If you make your client, and this is the side, if you make them the admin, they can take the website from you and not pay you for your work and stuff like that. Don't do that. What I suggest you do instead is you make them an editor, for example, and you add the user, send them their information. After you've made them an editor, here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to under construction, you're going to go to settings, all right? And after you go to settings, you are going to go to access, and whitelisted user roles is also going to be editor. Now, you can also make them an author or whatever the case might be, perfectly fine. Don't make them a subscriber. Subscriber is just an average person who goes to your website and signs up. And that's how you're going to have them be able to see the website. Now, that's good. We're done with under construction and stuff like that. The next thing that we're going to have to do is we're going to have to do some security for our website, because I understand that as we are right now, the website is not going to be launched. But what you don't want to happen is you don't want to make your website, spend months, perhaps even, making this website, because e-commerce websites, they take a lot of work. You don't want to go through all of that work, and then after a month, when you're ready to access the website and go live, there's some spam or hack or malware. You don't want to make a change yesterday that you can't undo, and you need security from the first day. So we're going to do some website security. To add security, like we said, it's a feature. So we're going to go to the plugins and add plugin. We're going to use a few different security plugins. I've found that this tech stack of mine, or security stack of mine, is actually impenetrable. Never had any issues with it. So we're going to type security. Under security, we're going to install really simple security. We are going to install Sucuri security, and we're going to install solid security. I don't think we're going to use anything else here. The next thing that we're going to use is we are going to look for UpdraftPlus, and we're going to install now. All right, so before you proceed any further, what I want you to do is I want you to go to users, and you're going to go to profile. On your user profile, ensure that you have your username and your email and your password all saved. Because if you do not have them saved, what you're going to notice happen is that at some point during this part of the tutorial, you're going to be logged out, and you might not be able to log back in. So I'm telling you before it happens. So go ahead and copy and paste those somewhere safe that you can get to them when you need them. And let's get going with the tutorial. Let's just go back to our plugins. And on the plugins page, on the plugins page, we're going to first go with really simple security. Just go ahead and click activate. And we're just going to go ahead and set up really simple security real quickly. All right, so my host is Cloudways, as you guys know. So you can go ahead and use Cloudways. If you're using someone else, you can select that there. If not, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to go ahead and activate my SSL. And we already showed you how to get a free SSL. But what this plugin is going to do for you is going to ensure that no one can access your website without SSL and endanger themselves. We are going to skip this section. We are going to activate everything here. So let's go ahead and enable. I've found that compliance, these are all very good plugins. So we won't cover them in this tutorial. We'll cover them in future tutorials. But just go ahead and install those. And we're going to finish at this stage. That's good. We're only at 53%, but it's way better than what we had before. And the next plugin we're going to use is we're going to go to install plugins, and we're going to go to Sucuri. So go and activate Sucuri. After you've activated Sucuri, just go to Sucuri Security and Hardening and Prevention. You can apply a hardening for a website firewall, but if you were to do that, the issue you're going to have is that you need to have a premium license. Now, here's the thing that you can do. You can just right click and open link in new tab, right? And right here, you can ask for help. You can start a chat, and you can ask for Steven Johnston. Now, he's a guy I've been working with for like perhaps 5-6 years at this stage. Really long time. Awesome guy. If you do not want to buy, he's not going to say, oh, you need to buy. He's not a hard seller. Very awesome person. Tell him that Jabez from Zeilhan referred you. And then after you've done that, you can get a premium license. Now, if you're a client of ours, you're going to enjoy the premium license benefits, which is the AI security, 24/7 website monitoring, all the good stuff. But, big but. If you don't want to go the premium version, that's perfectly fine. That is not why we've made a tutorial, because the free version is actually very helpful. So you're going to go ahead and apply hardening for everything else. Let's go ahead and apply hardening.
Apply hardening.
All right, so that's good. The next thing that we're going to do, the next plugin we're going to work on is we're going to go back to plugins, install plugins, and we're going to work with Solid Security right now. So for Solid Security, just go ahead and hit activate. And you might be logged out. Actually, might be. If you are, don't say I didn't warn you. And we're still here. Good. So really simple security is here. Solid security, you can just click on it right there and go to settings. Or you can go right here and I'm going to see this shield security. I'm going to set up. No, I've been using Solid Security on one of my clients' websites since 2019, 2018, I believe. And they've never been hacked. Back then, they were called iThieves Security. Absolutely amazing, guys. So go ahead and allow and continue. E-commerce. Now, you can scan your site. Now, the reason why I'm not going to scan mine is because I have WP Server also activated. And apparently these guys don't like each other. So you can scan. My guys don't like each other, so I'm not going to scan. I can't be bothered with some kind of a war at this stage. So I'm going to skip my site scan, but you go ahead and do that. Once your scan is complete, you can continue. So I'm not going to do network brute force because this is not a multi-network website, but it is very good that we can do that. Let's go ahead and continue. Require strong passwords, refuse compromised passwords. Very helpful. Go ahead and continue. I'm not going to allow two-factor. I recommend that you allow two-factor, especially for your website. The reason why I'm not allowing two-factor is because I'm doing a tutorial. I don't want that trouble. All right, then go ahead and continue. And this is my own website. Enable Security Check Pro. Go next. I authorize my IP address for sure and check my IP for sure. Once all that is done, I can go next. So I'm not going to do two-factor authentication like I said. Our firewall is perfect fine. I don't have, let's actually do that. So because it's not for the multi-site, it says join a network of sites that reports and protects against bad actors on the internet. And we can receive email updates and you can add your email. All right, so go next. So do activate network brute force. Default user group, certainly. I'm not going to make any changes here. I don't recommend you make any changes either. And let's go next. And we're going to complete setup. We're good as we are. Now, thing I like about iThemes, well, not iThemes, but Solid Security at the stage is they have a really beautiful interface. Their colors, right? Their brand colors before the change was blue and yellow. And now that they've become Solid Security, perhaps they were bought out, I'm not sure, whatever, it doesn't matter. Now they're using purple. And I like how easy this purple is on the eyes right here. It's really good. So let's go to the dashboard, see what else we can do with this good old plugin right here. All right then, so we can do some changes, right? We can take a look at our firewall, configure our firewall. We can take a look at who's been trying to hack into our website. Patchstack is a very powerful security software. They're very good. I like them. I've not used them because I've been with Sucuri for so long, but I met their founder a few years ago. Nice guy, actually. And we have some banned IPs and everything like that. It's actually pretty cool what you can do with this plugin. Very amazing. So we're going to go back to our plugins, just wrap up this section real quickly. We're going to set up our backups. So we're going to scroll all the way down to UpdraftPlus. Go ahead and activate that plugin. And this is basically a backup for our website. And the reason why I want to back up your website is because, believe it or not, we've been talking about security in the security masterclass. But it's impossible for you to completely protect your website. That's the thing that we need to actually accept. There's no such thing, Steven Johnson told me this, there's no such thing as 100% website security. There's always a way. But what backups do for us, it's like a first line of defense. So something happens yesterday, you have no idea what happened. You can go back to the day before. Just restore the backup from the day before, update your plugins, and so it goes from there. So it's the first line of defense. So once that's activated, go ahead and press here to start. After you press here to start, go to settings. You don't want to just back up yet. Now, what I recommend that you do, I recommend at least daily file and database backups, at least daily. But what you want to do is, if your website is active, you want to go with like every 6 hours, or we can go every 8 hours, right? And you want to keep a month of backups. You might need to get extra space, but this is an e-commerce website. It's directly contributing to sales, right? So you might want to keep a month of backups. So if you're doing every 8 hours, how many 8-hour sessions are in a day? Well, 24 hours in a day, every 8 hours. So it's like 3 sessions in a day. And you're going to go with like 28 or 30 days for the month. So that's going to be 3 times your 30. You're going to keep 90 backups or a month at least of backups before they get deleted. Now it's going to take some space, but it's worth it. Peace of mind, right? So that's what you're going to do. But for me, this would be too much because it's a tutorial. So I'm going to go with manual. And I'm just going to keep one backup. Don't use my setting, but I'm going to go with manual one backup because it's a tutorial. But for my live websites, these are the types of settings that I use. You can save to Google Drive. Everybody gets a Google Drive with their Gmail. You can go to Amazon S3 or Dropbox or whatever the case might be. Not bad. And scroll all the way down, save your changes, and then log into Google. After you've completed your setup, the next thing that we're going to do is you are going to back up now. All right. And our first backup is complete. Now, here's the thing that I want to tell you guys, or this is important. As the days go by and the backups go by as well, you're going to have a list of backups right here. It's very easy for you to restore a backup. You can actually even use this to migrate your website. We have a tutorial about that on our YouTube channel. You can look for that. But if you want to make a change, so let's say you're working today, you've made a change, it's pretty much screwed up everything. That happens sometimes, and you have no idea how to fix it. What you can do, instead of panicking, you can go to yesterday's backup. So let's say that this is yesterday's backup. And you can just click restore, select all of these, go to next, and you're going to restore yesterday's version, undo the damage that you did today, and say no more. So this is a very handy plugin to have, guys. It's actually very helpful. And here we go. So that's it for this part of the tutorial. Now here's what we're going to do next. A few things that we're going to have to do. We're going to have to, actually, let me just go to the site to show you. Now that we've pretty much done everything that needs to be done, the only thing that's left is to learn how to edit this part of the website, which is pretty amazing if you ask me. You're going to learn how to edit everything here, pictures, put in the right text. We're perhaps going to use some ChatGPT to get some text for us. Get pictures, how to get pictures and videos and stuff like that. After we've done that, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on that part. We have plenty of tutorials on how to actually edit the website. We're also going to spend some time learning how to do marketing because, like I said, there's a form right here. And for this form, you might want to add email marketing forms across your website because that's going to directly contribute to your revenues. We have an e-commerce, an email marketing tutorial linked in the description. It's perhaps going to appear in the cards somewhere above here. You can go ahead and watch that email marketing tutorial. It's going to be very helpful. It's pretty amazing, guys. And after we've learned to edit and do some marketing, we're going to learn how to create our products. What I'm going to do for that part of the tutorial is I'm just going to add. So I created a very detailed WooCommerce tutorial on how to create products, set up WooCommerce and everything like that. I'm just going to add that tutorial back to this tutorial. Pretty amazing. I actually use this template to create that tutorial, so there won't be any discrepancies. And once we've done that part, I'm thinking we're going to be pretty much done, guys. So we're almost there. On your timer, you probably have about an hour and a half or so left. I don't know. But we're getting there. You've done really well to make this far. Congratulations on your hard work. And if you don't like to do the hard work, go ahead and hire a team to get the hard work done for you. So let's move on to the next part of this tutorial, guys. All right, guys. So the next thing that we're going to do, as we discussed, we're going to learn how to edit this template. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this page because it's going to be quite interesting what we're going to learn right now. And on this first page, so we have two of the same pages, guys. It's the same thing. All right. So this is basically the second page, is one over here, is going to be the page that shows us what someone is going to see when they visit our website. That's pretty cool. And this page here, we're going to use this page to take a look at what we're seeing when we are building this website or editing this website. Now, remember that our website is really just a collection of web pages, right? And so we have different pages right here. We're going to be working on the home page. The menu, for those of you who are familiar with websites and so on, the menu is not in working order. Well, it's working, but it's not in the right order. Normally we have home and then about, and then we have perhaps our shop and contact page and account and everything like that. But it's disorganized. We can fix that really quickly, but we're just going to edit the template first. So to edit this template, and you can do this for any page. We've been doing this previously when we worked on the footer area. Now, this is not the footer area that we worked on, but when we worked on this area, we did a little bit of website editing. So all you need to do is just click on edit with Elementor. It's quite easy, actually. And here's where we're going to be. So I'm just going to move that out of the way. And the thing that I want you guys to notice, so let's talk a bit before we actually get to the editing, because it's important that after you leave this tutorial, you have a very good understanding of exactly what's happening. You see right here on this page, we have what's called a WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. And that's what Elementor is. Now, they have other page builders that are WYSIWYG. So like, for example, Gutenberg and GreenShift Elements. And we're not using those. So we're not going to talk about those. But for Elementor that we're using today, it's a WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. And what does this mean? It means literally what you see here, right? So I'm just going to close this a bit. It literally means what you see here is what you get here. So what you see in development is what you get in production, or what you see when you're building is what you get in the final product. And that makes making this website very easy for us, because here's what we normally had to do. Just right click and go to view page source. And this is the code. So all of this right here is, and it's not even all of the code either. Trust me, this is just a small part of it. So this would be the code for this website that we're looking at, right? And if you wanted to code this website, you would have to learn to write all of this code and more, because this is not all of the code really. This is just a part of it. You'd have to learn how to write all of this code just so you can do that. And as a matter of fact, I'm scrolling and I don't even know. We have 1,777 lines of code, and it's not all of the code, like I said. And that gives us this. But here's the problem. Let's say that we were actually writing code. How exactly do we know that this is going to work out to what we want it to look like here? You understand how complicated this can be? And what if we're trying to edit this by writing the code here, and we end up editing this or even this? And that's a problem that you would have faced if you had to learn how to code this website. For one, you'd have to learn the language, and two, you'd have to actually write all of this. So what WYSIWYG does for us, we can close that, thankfully. What WYSIWYG does for us in Elementor, for example, is we don't need to write any code at all. Seriously, like zero, none. None of this is code. As a matter of fact, I want to show you something pretty cool. So in production, the what you get screen, you're seeing here, it says bringing you places that cars never saw. Cool, all right? But what if we were to change this to what's something that you would like for us to see? I'm actually going to type that as the answer. So we can just click on it, as you would realize, and there's going to appear a box over here for us to type. And what if you wanted to? And let's say that this is what we wanted to have right here. What we could do is we literally could just click on the area, write that, and publish. Take a look at my hands. I'm not going to reload, but the site is going to reload. All right. Wait, it's not going to reload. Let me close this, and I'm going to go click on preview changes. So every time I make a change, it's going to update automatically. Let's go ahead and click preview changes. And you're going to notice that the change has been made. What if you wanted to write something else? That's pretty cool. And just to show you how this works, because I messed it up a little bit, we're just going to click right here, and we're going to say, and what we can do is we can just go ahead and publish and take a look. This is going to update by itself. I'm not going to do anything at all. All right, so you see my hands, no one's there clicking, and it's updated by itself. Well, right, something else. The pen is mighty. And what that does for us is that now we haven't written a line of code, really. We just told the website in our own terms what to show and where. Right? And that's beautiful, because now everyone can build a website. The problem is that you need to build a website that's actually going to get you sales, which is why we have this tutorial. If it weren't for that, we would need to make the tutorial. A lot of people are making website tutorials. Not many are making website tutorials that actually make you money. So here's what we're going to have to do. On this page, this is called Elementor Canvas, as you could put it. And we have on this page first, so I'm just going to scroll all the way here. First, we have a container, so we can click plus, and we can use either a flexbox or a grid. A grid is just a predefined layout of different areas where we can add content. So we can add content side by side, much like you see right here with this one, or we can add content on top of each other, much like you see. Wait, what? I think part of the website got messed up, guys. No, it's fine. Perhaps. Content right here is on top of each other. So there's one element here, there's one element here. So that's just a predefined layout. However, for the flexbox, if we go back, we can just click on the flexbox. And on the flexbox, we're going to see these two boxes. These are the boxes you're going to use most often. And the arrows are just telling you that whenever you add elements or widgets to this container, what exactly is it going to look like? Is it going to go on top of each other in the sense of it goes here and then here and then here in the entire box? Or is it going to go beside each other? And you can just click right here and say, let it go on top of each other. And once you have a container or a section or a column or whatever it is that you want to call it, because I'm not going to get too fancy on the jargon, you just need to know how it works. Once you have a place to put your elements, which is a container, it can be a flexbox or a grid, you click the plus right here, right? And you're going to get a list of all the things that you can add to your website to make it a beautiful website. And the reason why this is so amazing is because now I want you to realize that you can literally go to any website that you want and you can see a page or a design and you can use Elementor to rebuild it, just as long as you're fluent enough in Elementor. So let's say that we're going to just make a simple heading. You can just grab the heading widget and you can drop right here. And yes, add your heading text here. So let us say that this is, all right, and we can go ahead and publish those changes. We're going to see what's happening here on this website now. All right. So let's just wait for that. And this is for tutorial purposes. And I wrote this the way I wrote it well, I typed it this way for a specific reason. Now, after we've added a widget, what we can do is we can go ahead and edit how the widget looks. To do that, we go to the style column or style tab of the widget. So you click on the widget and you click on style and you can edit it. Now, we can change the color of the text to our primary color, all right? Or we can use one of our theme colors, or we can use a black, for example, all right, tutorial purposes. And after we've done that, what we can do is a lot like Microsoft Word at this stage or Google Cloud, we can center our text. We realize that one of our E's are capitalized and some is capitalized, some are common. It's not very formatted. It's not formatted very well. What we can do is we can click on typography. We can increase the size. All right. We can change to something else for the font. So we're using a different font as well. And we need to make this a little bit more organized. So we can go to our transform and we can capitalize. And because this E was written in capital, what we have to do is now go back to the content and just as easily we can delete and it's okay. Notice that we have a typo. It's right here. You can just right click and the typo is fixed. And that's it for that widget. We can add another element or widget, and we're going to just add an image. We're going to show you how to get images for your website projects very soon. The image widget is here. You can click right here and it takes you to the library. And we already know how to upload files. I mean, it's already right there. So we can click on this image and we can add it to the website. And here's the interesting thing. So we have a container, and within this container, we have a header and we have an image. Now we're going to add 2 buttons. If we were to add one button here, right, and we want to have another button beside it. So we're like, okay, let's add another button. You're going to notice that we have a problem because the buttons are going on top of each other, but we want them to be beside each other. Not very helpful. So what we can do, which is quite interesting, within a container. So this is a container that has a header. All right, so you can click on this and you see we have a container, and within this container we have a header. We also have an image and we have 2 buttons. Within this container, you can actually add another container, and you can say to this container that I'm going to add you here within this container. The container that you're added to is putting elements on top of each other, which is not what I want. What I want to do is I want for you to make my content go beside each other. Now, if you were to take these buttons and put them within that second container, so it's not going in, but what we can do is we can use this. All right, now it's there. You're going to notice that the buttons are now beside each other because we've told that container, which is the second container, see here, notice that it's indented. So that means it's an element of this parent container. We can also change the flow from there to there. Now, let me just click on these buttons and call them button 1. And let's call it button 2. And we can now click here, edit the container, and we can reverse the flow. Take a look at this. It's going to put button 2 first and button 1 second because we reversed the flow in an horizontal manner, or we can reverse the flow in a column manner. And now button 2 is first. And now button 1 is first, or we can do this, or we can do this. We can also play around with these. I'm not going to teach you too much of these because it's quite easy to just play around and see what they do. All right, guys, you can do that by yourself. You can go ahead and change the height, so you can play around with this other element right here, and you can see what it does, guys. Because for us, it's not a matter of having you remember everything. It's a matter of helping you understand how it works, so you can grow and figure things out as you try to do things on your own. And of course, we can go ahead and publish these changes. Having published the changes, we're going to see an update right here. All right, for this update right here, this is for tutorial purposes. Thank you. And button 2, button 1. And that looks good. So that's how we're going to go ahead and just edit the template. No, we don't have to create a section. So it's going to go ahead and delete this because this is not a very good look for our website as is. We're going to publish those changes. And that's how you go ahead and edit your website. Now, the thing that I want you guys to notice is that we've got pretty much the hardest part of editing this template out of the way, in the sense that now we know how to edit every part of it. And if we can edit a part of the web, if we know how to go get to the page, and we can edit each page, and we know how to edit the entire website. But there are a few more things that we need to learn. So one of the things that we're going to have to learn is how to actually get great content for our website. So we're going to use ChatGPT for that. And we're also going to have to learn how to get images. And you also need to learn how to add your images. And when you add your images, you need to learn how to not let your images slow down your website. So here's what we're going to do. How to add content to our website. We're just going to go ahead and use ChatGPT to add content to our website. And after we learn to do that, like I said, we're going to learn how to get copyright media, because you don't want to just take pictures from Google if you don't have your own pictures. That can get you in a lot of problems, including monetary problems as well. So let's go over to ChatGPT, and we're going to use Mr. ChatGPT to help us write some content for our website. All right. So here on ChatGPT, this is what we're going to do. We're going to say to ChatGPT that we're building a website. So we're building a website for our bike selling company, and we would like website copy to be written. Now, here's the thing. This is what's going to separate your output and your prompt from everyone else's. It's going to make it a little bit more unique and helpful for your business. You need to tell ChatGPT who your ideal customer is. So so here's the thing. If you don't have an ideal customer avatar, you don't know who you're trying to sell to, set up a consultation with our team. Let us help you get a digital strategy put together, or a digital roadmap put together, and you'll have that. So you need to know who you're selling to, because if you try to sell to everyone, you're really not selling to anybody. All right, so we're going to tell ChatGPT that our ideal customer is. All right, so we've told ChatGPT who our ideal customer is. And now we're going to ask for content for the hero section. Now, let me show you something. The hero section of your website. So I'm going to reduce myself a bit, move me out of the way, and I'm going to close this. The hero section of the website is when you land on the website, this area right here, and then the entire thing is called the above the fold. So the hero section is this dark area that you could say, and it's going to be the part of the website that visitors see before when they just land on the website. Most people are going to land on the website right here. They're going to be like, nope, and they're going to turn back and go away. So what you need to do is you need to ensure the information that is here is, first, it's going to attract the right customers for your business, and two, it's going to politely show away those customers who aren't a fit for your business. So you need a very tailored message and CTA, call to action, that it's basically tell your visitors what to do next. You need both of those to be on point to help your business attract the right people and get rid of the wrong people. So what we need here is a header, we need 2 call to actions, and we need a supporting text. All right, so we're going to ask ChatGPT for that. So we're going to say, so act as a copywriter to write a header, 2 CTAs, and a supporting text for the hero section of our website. And we're going to send that to ChatGPT. ChatGPT is actually going to give us something really helpful. So the header says, escape the ordinary right into the wild. And we need to do nothing other than just copy. And we're going to paste. Escape the ordinary right into the wild. That's cool. That's cool. And then it says here, supporting text, whether it's a weekend trek through the mountains or a quiet trail ride with your family, our bikes are built to take you further. Now, as you notice, this is feeding off the information that we told about our ideal customers, right? So if we got our ideal customer avatar right, which is who we're going to sell to and what price and how, then this information is pretty helpful. So, designed for adventure, engineered for comfort, discover the freedom that starts where the pavement ends. And this is just alluding to the fact that our ideal customer in this case are people who like to get away from the office and the city and work on the weekends. And they just like to hang out in the outdoors and have a wonderful time. So, this is very good supporting text. Our ideal customer is going to read this and they're going to think that this is for them. So, we're going to click right here and we're going to highlight and we're going to paste and we can do some deleting and stuff like that. Now, for our call to actions, we're going to shop adventure bikes and we're going to find your perfect ride. So, let's shop. That's something that we could do. And let me just go to shop for the link. And that's good. And for the next CTA, we could say find your perfect ride. That's one thing we could do. We could also actually type something else. So just click on that. Find your perfect ride. And this is going to be like, I'm going to just put this to the contact page. Not where it should be, but I'm just where I'm going to put it for now. And I'm going to go ahead and publish these changes. And you're going to notice that our updates are going to take place. All right, so let's just wait a bit. All right, so shop adventure bikes, find your perfect ride, escape the ordinary ride into the wild. And the thing that I want you to notice is that ChatGPT asked us if we would like a variation with a more premium tone or eco-friendly slant or lifestyle-focused messaging. You can tell it yes or you can tell it no. It doesn't matter. That's fine. But we've pretty much used ChatGPT to get content for our website. Now, the thing that I want you guys to notice is that we have a lot of content on our website, and this is not very helpful content at all. Matter of fact, for this type of content, it's just like, I have to change every single thing that is there. And it's not very helpful. What you can do is you can buy ready to use website kits and templates from our kit store. And what that's going to do for you is they're going to have a complete website actually that's ready for you to use right off the bat. You just need to change your logo. So all this editing that we're doing and everything like that, you don't have to do that. You just change your logo and your business name and contact information, and you're gonna have like something that works for you. No, it's not gonna be your business information, but it's way better than lorem ipsum, and it's actually tailored towards a brand and everything. So to get those templates, you just need to go to kits.zeilhan.com. Let me just show you one of the kits that we've made. So this is one of those kits that we have made. Let me just myself out of the way. Builders Pro, this is for our construction and renovation experts. This is actually a pretty nice template, if you ask me. And all this information is here, is congruent, it's coherent, it fits together. And you can use this like it's yours. So you literally go to kits.zeilhan.com and you can go ahead and purchase a template from there. Literally from zero to set up in 30 minutes. The longest part of setting up is going to be hosting. Once you get your hosting set up, you just migrate this over to your website and that's it. You're good. And you can go live with that. Change your logo, change the contact information. We have projects, galleries. It's absolutely amazing what is being done right here. So now you don't have to build everything by yourself. Really beautiful. So go ahead and check out kits.zeilhan.com. And if there are templates that you would like and we do not have those templates listed as it, go ahead and comment below, or you can send us a message. We'll work on it and you can have a beautiful website, perfect with email marketing and lead generation and SEO and website speed and website security. Everything in one for less than $1,000. Like seriously. And we can even do the hosting and security and setup and everything for you. So go ahead and check that out, because we're getting back to our tutorial. So what I'm not going to do is I am not going to fill out information for the rest of this template, because you can just buy one of our templates with all of that done. So you know how to do that, right? The next thing that we're going to need to do as we quiet look right here is pretty obvious, is that we are going to need pictures for our website, right? So we're selling bikes, sure, that's fine. Let's say we have other pictures that we need to put up. If we don't have our own product pictures and these stock pictures that come with the template are not the best ones for us, they don't really fit what we're doing, what you can do, so I don't understand why it looks like this here, but over here it's perfectly fine, which is strange. But anyway, it's not disturbing us. So what you need to do is, how do we get pictures and videos for our website? So here's what you're not going to do. Like I said earlier, do not go to Google and type this in. Don't go to Google and type bike photos, or I guess what I need to. What kind of bikes are these, guys? Are they mechanical bikes? Nope. In my country, this is why you should stick to what you know. In my country, we call them bicycles. So this is not what we're selling. So maybe they are performance bicycles. I don't know. I'm not a cyclist, guys. Performance bicycles. Oh yeah, it looks like it. And don't type that in and then go to images and be like, oh, this looks nice. This actually does look nice though. In real, for real, this actually does look nice. Nice picture. Don't just do that and save image, and then after you save image, upload it to your website. The reason you're not going to do that is because it says images may be subject to copyright, which means that if you do use these images, you could have a lawsuit. So don't do that. What you're going to do instead, you're going to go to tools, I believe, usage rights, and Creative Commons. That's if you have to use Google. Now, all of these pictures, not all of them are going to allow you to use them. You can click on this one. It's Pexels. It says, get this image on Pexels license details. Before you download any image and add it to your website, I want you to go to license details at all times. And on the license details, it says here CCO, and it explains how this license work and if you can use it. And basically, it's going to tell you that you can go ahead and download this. But I don't like using this because most of the images that we see here are not high quality images, and even some of the images. So this one should be pretty good. But the license details, I believe, says we can't use it, right? So you can actually use this image, which is pretty cool. But you often don't get amazing images on Google. So where do we get images? Here are a few places. The first place you can go. So I'm gonna close this and I'm gonna close this. The first place you can go is Pexels, which is where that first image was. On Pexels, you can get photos and videos, and you can just download. All right, we're going to show you how to download soon. Let's just go to the next place. You can also go to Pixabay. Here we are on Pixabay. Actually, pretty cool. And you can get images, photos, illustrations, vectors, videos, even sound effects, really. You can get a few things here. The next place you can go is FreePic. Now, I like FreePic. The thing that I don't like about FreePic, though, is that they're not all free. So we can type, all right, so this is one. This is AI generated, all right? But it might tell us that we can't use the image. So in order to use FreePic properly, you have to go to license and click free. You can say AI generated or not AI generated, that's fine. And you will get some really nice things here. Even videos, guys, PSD, like Photoshop templates and everything. It's absolutely pretty beautiful what you get here. One of the popular ones that I used to use, I don't like it anymore, is Unsplash. So here on Unsplash, you're going to see a few you're going to see some elements. So let's just type in a car. We're not doing a car website, but you're going to type in a car. And you're going to notice that some of these have this little plus right here. It means that you can't use those for your website. They're not free for you to use. And sometimes the best images aren't free, which is crazy. So keep that in mind as we use this website. Now, after we've taken images, we might need icons and the like. So where we can also go is Icon Scout and Icon Finder. So first up is Icon Finder. You can get icons for your website, and those are very helpful. If you scroll on the website, you're going to notice that we have an icon here, icon, 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 icon. Those are all icons. This is an icon, sorry. The footer has an icon as well. So icons are very popular on websites. They can improve the aesthetic look. And the other thing that they also do for you is they tend to be very small in size, so they don't slow make your website slow or slow down your website. That's the best way to say it. And here we have a few more icons. You can change the color of them and the like. So the next one that we mentioned was icon sculpt. All right. And yeah, so these are some of the places that you can go. Icon sculpt, icon finder, pixels, pixabay, etc., free pick. Now, what we are going to do is, let's say that we've gone to one of these websites. I'm not gonna use a car because it's not a car website. Let's just type cycle. Or we can type cyclist. Ciclista. All right, so this is something interesting. So we have a picture right here. Do not click here and then when you download the largest size. Don't do that. The reason is because the larger the size, and this is going to make your website faster. The larger the size of the image that you download, the bigger the page or your web page is going to be. Imagine you have 3 of these images on your website. It's going to make your web page very big, and that's going to make it slow. And additionally, when someone is accessing your website on a mobile device, so like we have the trusted mobile device right here for our tutorial. If they're accessing the website from a mobile device, because you've used a big image, it's now going to become a situation where they're probably not be able to access the website because it's so slow. Not because the website is bad, you're just using the wrong size images. So I mean, you take a picture on your iPhone and it's like 6-7 megabytes. So you can't upload that. You want your images to be somewhere between 150 to 250 kilobytes. If you can get it below that without compromising too much on quality, then good. So what you're going to do most times is you're going to go with like 1200 by 800 and 1900 is like the max. So we can go with 1900 here. And after you've downloaded that, you haven't finished yet. You're not finished because now you need to compress the image. So you don't need to use Photoshop or anything like that. What you can use is you can just go to Tiny JPG or Tiny PNG. On Tiny JPG, you're just going to upload a picture. So you're going to upload a picture. We're moving from 129 kilobytes to 63 kilobytes. That's absolutely beautiful. And just go ahead and download. All right, now we've downloaded. After you've downloaded the image, I'm going to close all these tabs, guys. You're going to head back over to your website. Let's say we're going to change this image right here. Just edit the container. Notice that we can't really edit the actual picture. That's because it's a background image. So after you've edited the container, go to Style. And the image is right here in the background. Choose image. You're going to upload the compressed image file that you just saved. Now, what we can do is we can just go ahead and select and add that image to our website. That's what amateurs do. Guys who watch Zeilhan tutorials or watch Zeilhan or who work with Zeilhan know that this is an opportunity to get traffic to our website. So here's the thing. When we went to Google and we typed bicycle or performance bicycle or cyclist or anything like that, we saw images of relevant pictures appear and we could click on those images and be led to a website. And we actually did that at one point. So you can do the same, meaning that you can have someone search for the picture of a bicycle. Your picture appears. They're like, oh, I like this. And they click on the picture and it takes them to your product page. And they're like, oh, I can actually buy it for such and such an amount. And they actually buy the image, right? Just cool. Well, not the image, I buy the bicycle. The picture is just a picture of the bicycle, of course, unless you're selling the image. Anyway, that aside. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back over to Mr. ChatGPT. On Mr. ChatGPT, I made a mistake because what I did was I used a temporary chat, right? So it's not saved the information. And now I need the previous information to get the right information for this image. But what I'm going to do is going to show you the prompt that you would use, right? And it's going to give you the right output. It's not going to give me the right output. So for your chat GPT that you're using to get content for your website, this is what you're going to type, right? All right, so here it is. Now we need an image, title, alt text, caption, and description that is SEO optimized that attract leads and customers from search to our website. And it's actually going to give you the right output. It's not going to give me the right output because it doesn't have the previous information, most likely. I'm going to run it, however, and we're just going to copy and paste whatever it gives us. So it's asking us for more. So it's asking us for more information, guys. So it actually remembers it. Oh, yeah. So they did say they're going to keep the chat for 30 days. So here it is. It says premium bikes for sale, local bike shop. And these aren't the best SEO optimized titles and alt text, I'll be honest. But if you want to go ahead and buy an SEO tool for $200 and do all the keyword research for yourself, or hire an SEO team, then you can you can reach out to us. But this is a lot better than what we would normally do, which is image blah 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 .jpg, which isn't very helpful. Just gonna copy this and we're gonna use this for the title, and we're gonna have an alt text. But what is the alt text anyway? Well, here's something interesting. When you go right here and you type in alt text, this is basically telling Google and the search engine a little bit more about the image. And this works because, believe it or not, people who can see, they actually use your website. It's really cool. I know they use what's called a screen reader. And how the screen reader works is that it reads the content on the website. And that's easy, right? If it's a text that's saying, buy our bikes, cool, they can read that, understand that. But what if it's an actual picture? How do you read a picture? Well, the interesting thing is that it's actually going to use the alt text to read. And if you go to a website and the website doesn't load properly, it's actually going to display the alt text in the place of the broken image. So the alt text adds more context to your website, which is good for SEO, which, that's good. So we're just going to go ahead and do that and keep the caption. This description is a little bit too much, but whatever. I'm not going to use it because it's a bit much, and that's good. Now, we could also ask ChatGPT to act as an SEO specialist and do this work. So that's perhaps on me for not having used that prompt. And after we've done that, our image is 62 kilobytes. We can add it to our website. And there we go. Now, let's say you click on the play, it takes you to a video of some of your customers cycling through the forest or wherever it might be. And this is good for you. So yes, guys, this is how we do it. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to keep on talking with ChatGPT, and you're going to say to ChatGPT, now we have 3 columns. We need an icon. For each column, we need a header and a supporting text, and give us information. And ChatGPT is going to give you content for that. And you do that for the entire page. And the crazy thing about it is that this is just one page of so many. And sometimes, because look at that, there's more. There's more. It's like a salesman. And sometimes you do all of this and you need to create more pages. I know it's a lot of work. That's why you can hire a team, or you can do it yourself. Doesn't matter, as long as the work gets done, right? So that's good so far. The next thing that we have to take a look at, which is quite interesting, is something called website responsiveness. Now, you might hear the word website responsiveness and think to yourself that, it's when you talk to the website or something like live chat or whatever. That is not website responsiveness. What website words, right? What website responsiveness does, or it says, is that here's an example. I like using examples to make my explanations more clear. So I should be able, so this is a 6.7 inch screen that is on this phone. It works beautifully. All right. It is aesthetically pleasing. It's all right. Now, what website responsiveness is saying is that on this 6.7 inch screen, I should be able to access this website that is over here on this monitor. But this monitor is a 27 inch curved monitor. And this is a 6.7 inch screen, I suppose, flat monitor, whatever. I don't know, flat screen, whatever. Touch screen. So how is it that a website is going to look the same on both the websites, both the screen sizes, and it's going to work the same as well? Well, that's what responsiveness is. And responsiveness is so important that if your website is not responsive, not only does Google penalize it, but you're just going to be losing traffic, because over 80% of people access your website from mobile. And you might be saying, well, might as well just make the website for mobile only. Here's the problem with that. Even though most people access your website from mobile, most of them do the checkout and the shopping, the payments from their desktop. And now we have smart TVs coming in, and tablets have been around for a while. They're getting more popular. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to just realize that we need to make our website responsive. How do we do that? Well, very easy. And lucky for you, we don't have to code again. So what you can do is you can go to this header right here, and you can just click on this mobile portrait. And this is how your website is going to look when it is being viewed on a mobile device. And here's what you're going to do. You can just click on this right here, You can go to style and you're going to notice that it says mobile portrait for the alignment. You can make it left, you can make it justified. And if you go back to desktop, it's not going to change. So if you go back to mobile, it is changed. So we're going to keep it center. We're going to change the size for the mobile only. Let's just let's go with that. We could also make it in 3 lines. All right, shop adventure bikes and find your perfect ride. And you keep scrolling. Now, this area is hidden. You can edit the container because you notice that you're not seeing it, right? And it completely disappears. So you can just right click on it, edit container, go to advanced, move me out of the way, go to responsive, and you can show on the mobile and you can show on tablet, but we'll get there. So this is good. This is all good. What you can do is you can go ahead and edit the container here and you can hide on mobile portrait. And that's going to take away that. It's going to perhaps make your website a little bit faster, but that's fine. We made our image smaller and they add aesthetic appeal. And that's why you're just going to go ahead and edit different parts of your website to ensure that it is responsive. And the beautiful thing about it is that just by doing this, your website works on different screen sizes, and you still haven't written a line of code. And I don't think we can understate how beautiful that is. So this website, which is why I said at the start of the tutorial that I just love Blocksy because they make really beautiful website templates. And not only are they beautiful, they're actually effective. The designs are modern, they are really fast, they come responsive. So if you keep using the same, not the same information, but when you replace the information, you use the same amount that was originally there. So if there were 10 words, you use more or less 10 words again. For the most part, your website is going to remain responsive after you're done. And for me, that's beautiful because that's less work for you guys. So this is what Blocksy does for us, and it's already responsive. That's good. Now we can just go ahead and publish those changes. And it's time for the tablet version. So you click on the tablet right here. And here we are. And here we are. We can. So if you click right here, you're going to see exactly what's going to appear to your website visitors. And you go back here, you see everything that's there. Now, this element is not being shown. What we could do is we can go to responsive like we did, and we can show it on tablet. But I don't like to do that, so I'm going to keep it as is. And we can scroll, and everything looks good. Now, you're going to have moments when your responsive website needs a little bit more work than what we have right here. That's all a part of the job. The website will help you in the future, so just take your time and get the work done. All right. And I like what's happening here, guys. This is beautiful. This looks well, and it's this is working now. So now we're basically finished with editing the website. Because here's the thing, we can't just do the entire website. We're just teaching you how to get it done. And if you want to get it done, you can do it, or you can hire a team, or you can hire someone else. And that's that. Now here's where we are. So we have done everything that I think we can do so far. The next thing that we're going to do, which is something I promised you I would do, is we're going to add the product search feature to our website, meaning that you can search through our product catalog to find a product, and that's going to help your website visitors. All right. So just click right here and exit to WordPress. Oh, you know what we didn't do? We didn't go to our global colors and global typography. So here's something interesting. If we click right here, right, and we try to change the color, we see some colors here: primary, secondary, text, accent, and then we see color 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 8. Now, color 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 8 are our WordPress global colors that make part of our website. This is what we saw in the previous section where we're doing branding and color psychology and everything like that. But you can also add the primary colors or global colors to Elementor. So what you can do is just click customize, right? After you click customize there, you're going to go back here, you're going to click here, and you're going to go to site settings, and you go to global colors. Now these are your Elementor global colors. You're gonna go right here. I'm just going to go to our colors, and these are our global colors. You click right there and you copy, and you can say our primary is going to be that. But what I like to do is I keep that as that, but I like to put my colors here, yellow one, and just paste that, and yellow two, and paste that. We want to have a black, full black, so we're just gonna get a black. And to get the black is very easy, guys, just as it is to get the white. So you just do that. While we're at it, let's just get our full white, and just click right here, and we do that. Now we're gonna need a lighter version of the black and a darker version of the white. So yet again, we're just gonna go to coolers. We're not gonna try to figure this out on our own. And under coolers, we're gonna explore our trending palettes. All right, and let's look for a black and let's look for a gray. So we can use this for our darker white. And let's get for a lighter black, which is this. It's not full zero, so we can do that. And these aren't actual names for colors, guys. All the colors have names. I'm not going to memorize them, but this is a very good way of doing that. And we can just put that right there. And we can get an accent color if we're so inclined, depending on your brand palette. So all these colors, guys, you're going to get them from your brand guide or your brand, your color guide for your brand. So you don't have to figure this out on your own per se. Let's just say that's what we've done. You can also go, wait, let me save. Hold on just a second. Now you can also change your global fonts. All right, they're right here. But I don't like changing these because, it can make things complicated. But you can go ahead and I think what we were using was Inter. I think it's Inter we were using. And not only Inter, I think it was also, it wasn't Open Sans, it was Railway, I think. It was Railway that got our attention for the menu. And we can use Inter for everything else. And for the accent, we're going to keep Inter as well. All right, and we can save those changes and go back to our website. And after we've saved the changes, gone back to our website, we should see some changes. And that's good. So those are actually the Elementor global colors. The first part was the WordPress global colors and global fonts. So Elementor and WordPress have their own global colors and fonts area. You can do that to make it easier. But if we click right here, notice that now we have some different colors. So we have the whites, we have the black, and the like. Put it back to white, and that's good. Our fonts should be fine, so we can go ahead and change to secondary. That's going to change to text. That's going to change, and change to accent, and that's going to change. Let's go back to primary as it should be. That's going to change. Not going to use that. Just reload. And now we're good. Now we're going to get the actual product search feature. So let's just go back, exit to WordPress, go here. All right, so we're going to go to plugins. We're going to add new plugin or add plugin. We are going to type Woo Advanced Search. I believe that's what it's called. Advanced Woo Search. Okay. We're going to install that one. And after we've installed it, we're going to activate. And now we can go to settings and place that as reindex table and seamless integration. So all the search forms are going to use this. And we can search through product category as well. And we can search through tag, archive pages, sure. Gonna keep those words, leave everything else as is. and we're going to save changes. Then I think what we have to do is we have to go to the customize. We're going to edit our header. We need a search icon, so we have search. I'm going to just wait for this to load so I can see exactly where I want to put it. All right, so we have the search. I'm going to put the search right beside the cart. Search. Let's see how it looks right there. Then we're going to reorganize the menu and we're going to start making products. So I think the search is best put towards the end, and then we have the cart, and that should be fine. So icon size, design. Okay, it's a little bit close. So I'm going to change the color. Color is there. And let's just publish those changes. I think it's a little bit close to that element. I don't like the spacing on it, guys. I think it's too close to each other. It doesn't make the design look good. I'm not certain why that happened. I think it's just the option that's there for that one particular one. So I'm not going to get too fussy about it. It's something that we can easily fix, but for now, let's just continue the tutorial. Let's go ahead and publish that. After we've published that, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and check if the form works, or if the feature works, sorry. So we're going to just close right here. We are going to go home or visit site, right? And one of the bikes are called Akumsan or Comsan or whatever it might be. We're going to click right here and paste, and there it is. So the bikes have appeared. So the search form is working, and that's good. And because we've shown you how to edit the header, you know how to actually edit this search results page. It's very easy. It's the same place at the design. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to have to edit this menu. So we can go here, menus, or on the dashboard, you can go to appearance menus. On appearance menus, we're going to have to definitely create a primary menu. So go to the main menu. We're going to select the main menu. We have two home page. Wait, what? This looks crazy. We have two of every page here. So let me just reload this to see if I'm seeing right, or if there is an error or something. All right, so we do have two pages of everything. So I'm going to visit site to see if that's what's there, because I think what I was seeing was only one page. Yes, I was only seeing one page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete one of these ohms. I'm going to save the menu. Let me reload to see if everything stays the same. It does. And let me reload here and see if this home goes over here. It doesn't, but I know what's happening. All right, so just go ahead and delete everything else. Remove one shop, remove one about, home, about, shop, remove one of the blog pages. The blog is going to go before the shop, contact, and remove one of the contact pages. And then now we need to get the my account, my card, and checkout. We're going to add those. That's all going to come after shop. When you do this, make it indented, it's going to become a sub menu. All right, and save menu. After you save the menu, let's go back here and reload. It perhaps isn't going to change. So it hasn't changed. There's a reason why. So to fix that, we're going to go to appearance customize. That is the main menu we just edited. Now we're going to just hover over this. And the menu that we're going to select is the main menu. It's not selecting the actual menu. It's just displaying pages randomly because it's the default. It isn't an actual menu that's selected. So we're going to select main menu, and then everything is going to show properly. So home, about, blog, shop, my account, contact, and publish. And having published, there we go. We're good. That's good. Now, the thing that I want you guys to notice is that we are now going to add into the product section, the e-commerce part of this tutorial. And I've made a complete tutorial. because every time I make an e-commerce tutorial, there are some things that I feel like I haven't gone in depth with. And I decided that, I'm going to do it for once and then reuse that tutorial. So the tutorial that's going to appear here is pre-recorded, but it's done using this very template, right? And this tutorial is going to be a very detailed and wonderful explanation of how to do e-commerce on WordPress. And after you've watched that tutorial and this tutorial, we're just going to go ahead and test to see if our website works. And if it does work, we're going to go ahead and say this has been a success. So like I said, you can go ahead and get these website kits from our store, kits.zeilhan.com. You can also hire a team to do the work, or you can keep watching and learn how to do everything. So let's get into the product section or the e-commerce section, of this tutorial. All right, guys, in this tutorial, what we're going to do is we are going to take a look at WooCommerce. That is the WordPress plugin that allows us to sell products on our store, basically. So we're going to learn everything we can about WooCommerce, how to add WooCommerce to your website, how to set up WooCommerce, everything from shipping to payment to taxes. And we're also going to learn about the different product types and how to create them on our WooCommerce store. If you're watching this tutorial, there are going to be a list of other tutorials that you can watch on WooCommerce on our YouTube. So you can go ahead and check those out. And we will also be creating more tutorials in the future, not only on how to create an e-commerce website with WordPress, but also how to get sales, get clients, get leads, marketing, grow your business, and everything in between. So let's get started. WooCommerce, we all know that you can sell products on your website. It allows you to do something like this. So you can go ahead and click on this bike. And this isn't the real name. This is just dummy information. But you can zoom in on the product. You can take a look at different pictures. You can go full screen, as you would see. Go over to the next slide. And you notice there are different colors. We're going to show you how to create different colors. Notice we have different colors here. All right. What you're going to learn how to do is to create all of these, and you can increase the price, increase the quantity of your order. You can add to cart. After you've added to cart, you can view your cart, and you can proceed to checkout. If you have a coupon code, you can create that. We'll also show you how to create your coupon code in the future. And proceed to checkout. Having proceeded to checkout, you can input your information and place your order. And now that it's inputted you've added your information, you can go ahead and place your order. Okay, so we don't have our payment methods listed at the moment. So let's actually go through a tutorial and then try again to make this purchase. How do you add WooCommerce to your website? You're going to go over to dashboard. Let me just click on store coming soon. That's going to be important to be removed. And we're going to say the site is live. Go ahead and save changes. This is going to ensure that even your e-commerce part of your website is working. All right, we already have WooCommerce installed, but if you don't have WooCommerce installed on your website, you can go to plugins and you can go to add new plugin. Search for WooCommerce. After you search for WooCommerce, you can go ahead and install, and then you can activate. While you're here, go ahead and install WooCommerce PayPal payments and WooCommerce Stripe payment gateway, because these are very important plugins. And you can also go ahead and install Google for WooCommerce, which helps you with setting up e-commerce ads on Google, connecting to your WooCommerce store and the like. But we're not going to do that in this tutorial. All right, now we've added all these plugins. Let's just go ahead and activate this one since it's allowing us. And we're going to also activate the WooCommerce PayPal payments, which is right here. By the way, guys, so we have all of that set up. What we're going to notice next is we have a WooCommerce tab right here. We're going to go hover over WooCommerce and we're going to go to settings. And this is where we're going to start setting up our WooCommerce settings. So you're going to put the address of your business, address 1, address 2, and you can even add the city. I'm going to say that this one is in Florida. Or let's try South Carolina. I had a very bad experience with South Carolina recently, where there were fires in South Carolina. I think they were under control, thankfully. Haven't heard much on the news since. So Prayers out to everyone in South Carolina. I hope you guys are recovering nicely. I love South Carolina. Been to Myrtle Beach, absolutely wonderful. All right, then. So we have the address. So we're gonna go ahead and just leave it. I'm not gonna add the address because tutorial, but go ahead and add your address, add your city, add your country. You can add your postal code or your zip code. It is going to be important, especially for the shipping part of the tutorial. So please go ahead and do that. And it's also important for taxes at times. Now, we're going to say, where do we sell to? We're going to have three options. We can sell to every single country in the world, right? So that's an option that we can do. We can sell only we can sell to all countries minus a few. So you might say you don't want to sell to China, or you might not want to sell to Russia, or you might not want to sell to wherever. Your preferences, your business, you can decide that. Or you can sell only to specific countries. So let's say you want to sell into America, you can just add America. I am in Jamaica. For one of our clients, we only sell to Jamaica because it's roofing supplies. We're not going to produce roofing supplies and ship them overseas. That's just not part of our operations. So you're going to sell to a specific country. I'm going to leave all countries for now. Where do you ship to? So what I like to do is say I ship to all countries that I sell to. That's a very safe way of going about it. But what you can do is that let's say that you don't sell to the UK and someone in the UK wants to buy from your store, but you sell to America. What you could do is you could say that you could, you know, the customer could buy the product, ship it to America, and then ship from America to the UK, depending on if they have such a shipping company in the UK, which is how Jamaicans do it most times. A lot of times they don't sell directly, they don't ship directly to Jamaica, but they sell to Jamaica. So what we do sometimes is we buy the product, ship it to America, and use a shipping company in America to ship it from America to Jamaica. They won't pick it up. And that's something you might want to know about, especially as you're setting up your e-commerce website. All right, then the next thing that we're going to take a look at is so you can ship to all countries you sell to. You can ship to all countries. You can ship only to specific countries, or you can disable shipping and shipping calculations. And this sometimes works especially wonderfully well when you're doing digital products. All right. Now that we've done that, we're gonna have default customer location. I like to say it's the shop country region. You can do geolocation or you can geolocate with page caching support. I'm just gonna leave it at default into the shop or country region at this time. And that's simple because I'm just going to say that for our store, most of our sales are going to be local, and that's going to make setting up shipping a lot easier. Not easier in the sense of easy, but easier for me to explain for you guys. But these all explain for themselves. If you use geolocate, it's going to say that, okay, we're detecting that your browser is in Japan, go ahead and use Japan. But, not a big deal. All right, so I'm going to use that. Then enable taxes. So tax rates and calculations, where it says rates will be configurable and taxes will be calculated during checkout. And I do like to enable this in tutorials. You might want to enable it for your business as well. For taxes, I'm going to show you how to set up taxes. I'm not going to tell you which taxes to use. For taxes, speak to your accountant and speak to a tax lawyer to know what applies to your business and how to go about that. And in my country, don't have value added tax, that's VAT, that's a European thing. So you might want to, speak to a professional. We're not advising you on tax, only how to set up your WooCommerce store. So enable tax rates and calculations. Definitely enable use of coupon codes where you can get discounts, and calculate coupon discounts sequentially. So when you apply multiple coupons, you're gonna apply the first coupon to the full price and the second coupon to the discounted price, and so on. All right, fine. Now this part is all about preference. In some locations, you're gonna have the currency to the right. In some locations, you're going to have a thousand separator being a full stop and a decimal separator being a comma, and so on. Most places, I've never seen a place that uses more than two decimal places though. But this is going to be it for most places, especially in America. Let's going to go ahead and save changes. Now we're finished with the WooCommerce general settings. Products. All right, now, so where is the shop page? And this is interesting. You can change the shop. So it says the base page can also be used in your product permalinks. Now, if you are following this tutorial from one of our tutorials, then you must have set up your permalinks already. But we're going to go over to permalinks. Let's just right click, open link in new tab. It's going to be settings permalinks right here. Ensure that the one that you have set up is post name post name is best. Permalinks basically help with search engine optimization. Search engine optimization, meaning that you type something into Google. When you type something into Google, or your customer searches something into Google related to your business. So for this specific template, we're selling bikes. They want to buy a competitive bike or professional bike. We would like for whenever they search that your product comes up, or if you're selling shoes or you're selling wedding dresses, whatever the case might be. So definitely use post name because it's easier, it's best, and it improves your SEO. And we're going to save changes. After we have saved changes, we're going to close this one. We're going to go back here and refresh just to have those changes take place right here. And it says a base page can also be used in your product permalinks. So we can say zeilhantutorials.co.uk/shop. That's all that's saying. Add to cart behavior. So if you add a product to cart, do you want to get redirected to your cart? I don't like that because the person might not have finished shopping, but it might also prompt quicker checkouts. So decide on the trade-off. Enable Ajax add to cart buttons on archives. I'm going to keep that active. Placeholder image. Now, if you create a product, I'm going to show you what's gonna happen. If you create a product without a product image, there's going to be a default image that appears. This is a product image that's going to appear, guys. It's very ugly. What I like to do is I like to change it to one of my logo. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete that, and it's going to ask me to enter attachment or ID, attachment ID or URL to the image. I am going to just close this. I'm going to go to media. I'm going to open a new tab. In the gallery, I'm going to pick one of my logos. So I'm going to pick this one. I'm going to copy to clipboard, and I'm going to paste here. Now, whenever a product is added without product images, this picture is going to be the default picture for that product. All right. We're going to leave the weights and dimensions and everything in between. Enable product reviews. Show verified owner means that your reviews are legitimate, and this is going to protect you as well, meaning that reviews can only be left by verified owners, meaning that someone who wants to leave a bad review on your products, even though they haven't bought your product, will be prevented from doing so because they aren't verified. They haven't an account that shows they've purchased the product. So how would they know, right? This can help you. You can enable star ratings on reviews, and star ratings should be required and not optional. Perfectly fine. And let's go ahead and save changes. We're going to go over to our inventory. So this is products general. Now we have products inventory. Enable stock management. Stock management is simply saying that we have 60 products overall, right? And we're selling in store and online, or we're selling online. Whenever we sell one, go ahead and decrease the quantity so we know when we need to restock. And this is not absolutely necessary words, right? Absolutely necessary, but it's very helpful. I like doing that for products where you create it. Like for the example where we sell custom t-shirts on one of my stores. We don't really need stock management because we're not going to be particularly going out of stock. We create the orders as they come. All right, so you can go ahead and manage that. You can hold stock for 60 minutes. That's for an hour if they don't pay. And this is helpful because if you only have one stock remaining and someone has it in cart, the store might reserve it. But if the person reserves it for 3 days and doesn't check out, then that's bad for you, right? So you can go ahead and do that. Enable low stock notification and out of stock. This is our admin email. So that's what's going to be happening there. Low stock threshold 2 is kind of bad for me because we might take a while to restock. All right. And out of stock threshold is 0. And you can add out of stock items from the catalog, meaning that if your item is out of stock, they can't see it. I don't like that because even though they can't purchase it, they might see it and say, I can get it here next time. Or perhaps I can get it here, which is good. And for the start display format, I'm just going to leave it as is. I mean, you can change it to anything that you want right here. Not a big deal for me. So let's go ahead and save changes. After products inventory, we're going to products, downloadable products. Not much to do for the remainder of this part of the tutorial. So force download, sure, go ahead. I'm not going to change anything here. I like to say downloads require login so we can restrict access to products of people who have accounts. We might have fewer downloads because sometimes people don't want to create accounts, but that's what I'm going to do right here. And we can open in file in browser. I'm not going to do that. And Just going to save changes. Like I said, not going to change too much. And approved download directories and advanced, not many changes are going to happen under approved download directories, but under advanced, like don't change anything here, guys. Under advanced, we're going to say enable table usage. So, you can filter for when you're looking up, so you're searching. It's some cost, isn't something that you need to really know. So, set product featured image when upload image file name, purchase per SKU, and not much to worry about right here. All right, then. That's it for products. This is where we're going to get to taxes. We're not going to do too much advice or any advice at all. Just going to show you how to get it set up. So prices entered with tax. So whenever you add a product price, are you going to have tax in the price or are you going to calculate prices after? So for most of us, they will say, yes, I will enter prices inclusive of tax. Others will say, no, I will enter prices exclusive of tax. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to say calculate taxes based on the customer shipping address. You can also base it on the shop address, right? So this might be your sales tax. So whenever you sell something, you have to pay a tax on how much you sell a product for. Like I said, go ahead and speak to your lawyer. And that will actually inform what you use here for your taxing based on what the lawyer tells you or your tax accountant. Shipping tax class. So whenever you're shipping something, is a tax class based on a cart item, standard, reduced rate, or zero rate? I'm going to keep it at tax class based on cart items. So different items can have different tax classes. Some might be special tax, some might be consumption tax, some might be reduced tax, some might be free. All right, so that gives us that flexibility. Round tax at subtotal level instead of rounded per line, which is right. So that's how we're going to round that. And additional tax classes. So you can add a special rate. You can add that and you'll have different tax classes. Perfectly fine. Again, this is going to come from speaking with your accountant and your lawyer about how to do taxes. Display prices in the shop, excluding tax. And the drawback is that if you display prices excluding tax, when they go to checkout, the price is going to be higher than they originally thought. And this can deter some buyers. This can lead to what's called an abandoned cart, where they put a product in the cart and they go to checkout, but they don't actually check out. This can cause that. So use this option sparingly. If you use including tax, then you're going to, whatever they see is what it is, right? That's up to you to choose. And you can display prices during cart and checkout, excluding tax. And I'm going to say excluding tax. I'm going to keep it like that. Not going to make any changes. It just means you'll see once we're doing a checkout where it's going to give us the product prices and going to give us a tax rate and then stuff like that, which isn't so bad because the tax isn't really your money anyway. And most customers know that. Price display suffix, not going to change anything. And save changes here. Now for our standard rates. So notice that it says special tax rates, which is right here. This is special tax rates. All right, so standard rate. And then we have reduced rate. We have zero rate, which is here. And we created a special tax rate. All right, then. Our standard rates, what are our standard rates? I'm just going to go with regular GCT. In my country, we have what's called GCT, General Consumption Tax. 15% the last I checked. And how it works is that if let me just grab this device. If I'm selling this phone, buying this phone, whatever the case might be, if I'm buying this phone and I have to pay GCT on the phone, it's not a necessary food item, and I'll pay 15% more, right? But for something like bread or rice or sugar or flour, something that is a necessary food item, it's not such a hard word to say, or even women feminine hygiene products, those aren't taxed, right? So that's where we perhaps have a zero rate. Now, I've introduced a special tax rate because I want to show you that you can add other tax rates depending on your location. But for now, standard rate is GCT. Let's just insert a row. And the rate is 15%. It says here that enter a tax rate percentage to 4 decimal place. All right. So I believe that is going to be 0.15 for 15% and 123 for 4 decimal places. And the tax name, I'm going to call this GCT. GCT priority 1. And I'm not going to say compound. Compound is whether you want a tax rate apply on top of other tax rates, which I don't want that to happen. And is shipping Does it apply to shipping? So do your shipping prices get this attached, applied to it? I'm going to say no. But yet again, this is something that's going to be decided by your tax lawyer, your tax accountant. All right. So I'm just setting this up for tutorial purposes, not at all giving you advice, even if you're from Jamaica. Reduced rates. All right. Here's an example of a reduced rate. And then we can go into special rates as well. So a reduced rate is, let's say, for example, you're importing a vehicle, and I'm going to use the same example for special rates. When you're importing a vehicle, the lowest duty, so that's a tax on importing the vehicle, I believe is 65%. Right, so I believe it depends on the size of the engine, and it's going to be like 65%. But if you're importing, and sometimes it can go as high as 100%. So you pay like 25K in America for the car because it has a big engine, V8 supercharged, and you import it to Jamaica, you're going to have to pay another 25K, 100% duty. But if you're importing an EV or an electric, I believe the rate is 35% because the CC rating is so low for an EV or for an electric, right? So what we can have here for reduced rate is just an EV. So it's going to be 0.35. Now we know how to do that. Priority 1, and we're going to call this EV duty. All right, so if you're importing an EV, that's the duty that you charge. And just going to leave that as this. Not going to apply to shipping. All right. The zero rate. So remember, I told you that there are some products that do not get taxed in my country, like bread, rice, flour. So I'm just going to say essential food items, which is zero rate. All right, so those don't get taxed. And if you're in Jamaica, yet again, don't take this as advice. Speak to someone professional and save changes. Now, for special tax rate is going to be for like cars. All right, so I'm going to say I'm going to add one for car. And the tax rate is going to be 65%. And this is going to be car, small engine. Because it goes up to 85 and 100% based on the CC rating. I'm not going to go to the the shipping organization of Jamaica's company, Port Authority. I think they're called, and find a rate. But it's just an example to help everyone understand how shipping and taxes and so on work in WooCommerce. All right. So priority 1's car, small engine. I'm not going to apply that to shipping. Go ahead and save changes, which is good. Now we're going to have our zero rates, which already done that. So taxes is done. Now to shipping. Shipping is going to be an interesting part of this tutorial for us because shipping is going to be an important part of every website. Now, let's say you're not doing shipping. Go ahead and skip this section. If you're doing shipping, pay close attention. We have a shipping zone and we have shipping classes and we have the settings. So let's take a look at the settings first. Something might be there for us to see. We're going to enable the shipping calculator on the cart page, and we're not going to hide the shipping cost. Yes, let's hide the shipping cost until an address is entered. And where does the shipping destination default to? It's going to default to the customer billing address. And we're going to save changes. Now, shipping zones versus shipping classes. Shipping zones are locations where you ship to. So let's say you're in America, you have different zip codes or different states. If you're in Jamaica, you have different parishes. This can be different shipping zones, and these different shipping zones can carry different prices. All right, that's good. Now we're going to have a shipping class. Shipping class is going to be applied to the product. And what do I mean by that? I simply mean that if you have a product, two products, you have this cell phone and you have a car, you can't expect them to have the same shipping class. Very, very different products. One's very small, one's absolutely ginormous, right? So that's where the classes are going to come in. So let's take a look at the zones first. We have an example here. It says you can have the US domestic zone for all US states with flat rate shipping, and in the Europe zone be a flat rate shipping and whatever. So here's the example that I like to use. It makes it very easy to understand. Remember we said, so add shipping zone. Remember I said that our store in this example is located in South Carolina. So what you're going to say is local state South Carolina. All right, so if you're shipping local to the state in South Carolina, we're going to just include South Carolina. All right, so if you're shipping to South Carolina, we're going to have the shipping method free shipping and continue. and it's going to be free shipping. All right. And no requirements. So you don't have to have a minimum or anything like that. We're going to take a look at this soon. And I'm going to say free shipping in state so you can see the change and create and save. So we ship free to our state, but because it's South Carolina, you can also go ahead and do pickups. So we're going to add another shipping method where we're going to say local pickup, continue. And that's it's not taxable, it's not non-tax, it's zero, it's free, and local pickup in state customers. All right, so if you're in the state, you can come and pick up your product at our location. Two shipping options. All right, so that's it for one shipping zone. Everything here is set. Remember, the store is in South Carolina, and we're saying to you that if you purchased your product and you're in South Carolina, you get access to free shipping and you get access to local pickup, so you can actually come to the store. All right, good. So we're gonna go back, shipping zones, and we're gonna create another zone. All right. So this zone is going to be local America. All right. So we're gonna say local country America, and this region is going to be USA. Let me just do USA, United States. And how this is going to work is I'm going to select United States. All right. Pay attention. And in the United States, we're going to have all these states. But I don't want to have South Carolina selected. So I'm not certain if I need to go through all of that. Or actually, I think I will, because even though these options will be shown for South Carolina will have its own options available. But you can go ahead and select the states and not select South Carolina. I'm not going to go that specific. And we're going to have the shipping method. So it's going to be flat rate. All right. Flat rate for if you're in America. And I like to use $10. All right. Flat rate, local country shipping. I'm just naming it this so you can see the differences once we get to the checkout page. And we're not going to tax you on shipping. Go ahead and create. All right. You could also come for your stuff. So if you're in America, you might say, oh, I'm going to drive all the way down to South Carolina and pick it up. Sure, go ahead. It's not taxable and it's $0. All right. But we're not going to make it free to ship to America. All right, that's good. Now let's go back to our shipping zone. And what we're going to do is we're going to add another zone for everywhere else except America. So let's go ahead and add zone. Oh, wait, it's right here. So it says here, rest of world. Let's go ahead and edit this. So any other regions not listed above, which is any region not America, we're going to add flat rate shipping. And we're going to say for flat rate shipping, it's $20. So this is one shipping option. It's $20 for flat rate shipping. Flat rate rest of world. All right. And we're not going to tax you on shipping, and then create and save. We're also going to say you get free shipping if you live in the rest of the world, but it's conditional, meaning that free shipping rest of world. Let me just put it like that so you can see it once you get to the checkout page. And the requirement is that, so you must have a valid free shipping coupon. That's one that you can do. You can also give a minimum order amount, which for what I've done on one of my stores, I say if you're purchasing something over a certain amount, which let's say is $100 at this stage, you get free shipping. Now it says apply minimum order rule before coupon discount, meaning that if we're giving 30% off products and you buy something that after we apply a discount is under $100, you get free shipping. No, because even though you're getting a discount, we're still losing some money. And even though the shipping is free, we still have to pay for it. It's not like the shipping company is going to say, oh, you're shipping something that you sold for more than $100. They're going to say, oh, no, you still pay. So you don't get the discount like this. You don't get a free shipping like that. Your order has to be below $100 before the discount. And we're going to go ahead and create and save that. So you have flat rate shipping and free shipping. We're not going to do a local pickup because it's rest of world. All right, and that's it for your shipping zones. Now, for your shipping classes, we're going to have different products have different classes. You're going to notice that once we start to create our products. it just go ahead and it says right here, use shipping classes to customize the shipping rates for different groups of products, such as heavy items that require higher postage fees, like a car versus a phone. All right. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna add shipping class, and I like to say heavy stuff, and this is gonna be heavy products, and the description is going to be these stuff heavy man. All right. That's it for the heavy stuff. And you can go ahead and once you're creating your products, you can tell WooCommerce which shipping class it is. So you don't have to set that right here. And you're gonna go ahead and add another shipping one. We're gonna say this is light stuff. All right, light stuff and light products and easy peasy lemon squeezy. Light work, baby. All right, sure. And those are going to be your shipping classes. Once you get to the product creation part of the tutorial, which we're going to get to pretty soon, you're going to notice all of this stuff taking place. So that's it for shipping. We're going to head over to payments at this time. Under payments, we have a few options available. What I like to do, especially when we're testing if everything works on the store, I like to do cash on delivery. Now, in this day and age, especially in Jamaica, you want to be cautious, especially in this world, because it's not like world is safe everywhere. So cash on delivery is when someone orders a product online, you ship it to them, and when they are receiving a product at shipping, that's when they pay. Very risky. Don't do it unless you are operating locally, like within your own community or so on. Very risky. But I like to use it because it makes it easy to test that the WooCommerce is actually working. All right, so it's going to go ahead and say finish setup. And everything here is good, not going to change anything, and that's fine. For our next payment method, what we're going to do is we're going to say check payments, makes it explains. You can go ahead and finish setup, and you can say where to write the check to and stuff like that right here, and whatever case might be. Save changes, and that's good. So they can pay via check. So they order online, pay via check, not using their credit card, debit card. You can do direct bank transfer, and you just go ahead and say finish setup. On direct bank transfer, all right, guys, you're gonna notice that it says your instructions. You can add your account, you can remove some accounts, like add your accounts and all of that stuff. The information will be there when you select direct bank transfer. They're gonna see the information. They can make the transfer and check out. And this is also good for testing if WooCommerce works. Perfectly fine, no problem. Easy peasy lemon squeeze. And now going back to payments, we're gonna take a look at more credit card, debit card options. So huge disclaimer before I start. In my country, Jamaica, we don't have Stripe or PayPal easily available, meaning that we can set up a PayPal account, we cannot set up a Stripe account. But once we set up a PayPal account, we cannot connect PayPal to our bank accounts. So we have a Jamaican bank, we can't use PayPal with that Jamaican bank. Not at the last time I checked, right? So there are different options that we have to use. However, if you're a client in Jamaica, there is a way that I can actually help you to get payment by credit cards on your website. You know, it's just something I've done before for other clients. We can do it for you as well. But we're going to take a look at this. But the reason why I mentioned the disclaimer is because of that, I am unable to finish the PayPal and Stripe setup part of the tour because I'm in Jamaica. I don't have an international bank account and address and all of that stuff. But I'm going to bring you as far as possible. And everything else after that is just going to be walkthrough that the software helps you with. First, with Stripe, you can activate Stripe. After you have activated Stripe, it's going to say create or connect an account. All right. You just click on this. It's going to take you to the Stripe page and you're going to create an account. The software itself will walk you through actually setting up everything. And you can create or connect a test account. I don't think I'll be able to do that, but you can go ahead and try that. And it's literally going to walk you through the process. All right. That's it for Stripe. Now I'm going to go back to payments. I'm not going to be able to activate Stripe because, I haven't been able to connect the account. The next one is PayPal. PayPal is a little bit easier because even though I can connect it to my Jamaican bank account, I can at least create the account. All right. So what you're going to do is after you change that button, you're going to go ahead and you can say securely accept all major credit and debit cards on the strength of the PayPal network. And these are the prices and the like. All right. And you can go ahead and say activate PayPal. You're going to be asked to log in to PayPal, which is, not the worst thing you can ask to be done. or you can create an account, mind you. So I like to go ahead and connect your account. I already have an account. You just enter the email right here. It's going to detect that, oh, you already have an account. All right. And then it's right here. So it's going to go to the login page because it detects that there's already an account there. And you're going to enter your password and you're going to log in. And all the integration will be done. All right, then that's it for PayPal. So I'm not going to go back. Then you can say test payment with PayPal Sandbox. And how PayPal Sandbox works is that it's going to give you a credit card or a test credit card with test funds, so you can actually go through the checkout process with dummy information for a test order, and you don't actually use your money, right? So that's very helpful. After you've done that, then you can actually activate the active PayPal. So that's as far as I can take you, still because of my location and everything. But I think you get the gist. I'm pretty sure if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section below, and we go from there. All right, then. Accounts and privacy. Not much that we're going to do right here. I enable guest checkout because that's going to make more people buy. Not everyone wants to create an account. Don't You can do that, so you can allow them to check in, log in when you're checking out. You can allow customers to create an account during checkout, and you can also allow them to create one on the My Account page. I'm not going to change anything here. I am going to remove personal data. I'm going to remove, well, I'm not going to remove access. I'm just going to leave these as is. You can activate, deactivate. We're not going to be storing credit card information anyway, so sure. And ensure you have a privacy policy. You have a terms of use. You have a cancellation of order policy. You have a delivery order policy. You have a returns order policy. Remember, ensure you have all of those because legally you need to have those on your website. Legally. And yet again, I'm just telling you what you need to do. The person that you speak to about how to do that is going to be your lawyer or your tax accountant. All right. So that's that. I'm not going to change anything here, and I'm going to save changes. Under emails, not going to do too much. It's basically saying that whenever an order comes in, go ahead and send an email to these emails. You can manage if you'd like. And to add a new email address, you just put a comma and type the email, and that will be that, and so on. You can change these text, not going to change these right now. Perhaps in a future tutorial, I'll show you how to customize your WooCommerce emails. We've done that before, and so on. Integration, not much to worry about with integration either. I'm just going to leave that as is. And site visibility is where we say the site is live, so you can check out. This is coming soon, where if you're working on the website, you can just activate coming soon, and no one will be able to purchase, which is helpful. And that's without a third-party plugin. That's in WooCommerce. And advanced, I don't think there's anything here that we want to change per se. We can change a cart page to a different page, so we can customize a custom page with cart and so on. Ensure you have your terms and condition page set, that here, and everything else is okay. Go ahead and save changes. Don't change anything here if you don't have to, because this can break some parts of the site if it's not configured properly. Perfect as it is. All right, go ahead and that's it for the WooCommerce setup. Go to dashboard, and we're perfectly fine right now. Next part of the tutorial is going to be the second to last part. The last part is going to be where we test the checkout again. But the second to last part, which we're going to start now, is just how to create products. All right. So we're going to first look at product tags and categories. All right. Let's just click on categories. All right, guys. So close right here. We're going to explain. I noticed that the default image has been updated. All right. So I'm going to just talk about this briefly. How do we explain the difference between a tag and a category? All right, here's how I like to think about it, and this is perhaps the easiest way because they can get confusing. Tags are Tags and categories are both ways of organizing your store and your products to make it easier to find what you're looking for. All right. The difference between a tag and a category, even though they do the same thing, is that a category tends to have hierarchies. All right. So you can think about anything. You can think about food. You're going to have different categories of food. You're going to have breakfast, lunch, dinner, supper, dessert, snacks. All right. Those are different categories of food. If you think about cars, you're going to have different categories of cars. You're going to have crossovers, SUVs, sub SUVs, smaller SUVs. You're going to have bikes. You're going to have cars, sedans, luxury sedans. Because even on the cars, you're gonna have two types of cars: sedans and luxury sedans, right? You're gonna SUVs, you're gonna have subcompact, and you're gonna have large 7-seater SUVs. On the bikes, you're gonna have two-wheel bikes, three-wheel bikes. All right, so those are categories, hierarchical. The tag, however, is something that can go straight across the board. So let's take a look at the car again. You can have a sedan and a luxury sedan, right? The luxury sedan, which is interesting, can be a white car, it can be red, it can be black. The sedan also can be red, it can be white, it can be black. And after you've left cars and you've gone to SUVs, subcompact and compact SUVs, you're gonna notice that the SUVs can also be different colors, right? White, red, black. That's what a tag would be. It goes across the board regardless of hierarchy, meaning that different categories of whatever it is you're selling can have same tags, right? So that's going to be the difference between tags and categories. Just think of it that way. If you don't understand, replay the section and think about the example. Try to come with your own examples. Categories are hierarchical. You can have subcategories. Meanwhile, tags go straight across the board. If you're using food as an example, you can use the taste of the food as a tag: sweet, spicy, tart, if you're into that. If you're using colors, colors is a nice tag. You don't necessarily have subcategories of colors, right? So you might have light and dark blue, but those are best suited as tags, not categories, and so on. Anyway, now that we have the understanding of tags and categories out of the way, let's go ahead and explain our products. We're going to go ahead and add new product. On our new product, the first thing we're going to create is called a simple product. All right. So I'm going to call it simple product. And it's going to be very important for you as we go forward. And this is going to be your long description. This is going to be your short description. I'm going to get some dummy information for both sections. So here we are on lorem ipsum. This is going to be right here. It's going to be my short description. Just scroll all the way down and input my short description. And the long description is going to be this one. All right. Just some dummy information to get us going. All right, long description. Now, your long description of your product is going to be more details and information. You can check it out on Amazon and specification. The short description is going to be short, punchy, spicy, the key information, most important information that buyers are going to want. All right, descriptions out of the way. We have different products. This is going to be a simple product like we see right here. You can change the type of product right here. Virtual or downloadable. What does that mean? Well, as it would turn out, you can sell tickets on your WooCommerce store, and these can be digital. You can sell ebooks, digital. You can sell passwords to your software, digital, and the like. So, for a virtual product, you might want it to be, these are products that are intangible and are not shipped. All right, so you buy online, it stays online, like a software product key, for example, or the downloadable file for your software, etc., etc. For your downloadable products, these are products that are virtual, not shipped, all right? But they also mean that you can download them, like an ebook or a movie or a picture. NFTs, the good old days of NFTs, Anyway, after reminiscing about the good old days, this is what a virtual and a download product is. You can set the price. After you set the price, so let's say I'm going to sell you the picture that of our logo. You're going to add the file, choose file, and this is going to be it. And just insert file right there, and we can say Zeilhan logo, and that's just going to be so. That's the difference, right? That's the only thing that's going to be different for your virtual. You're not going to do inventory because it's virtual and downloadable, or it's virtual only. You can do inventory. So if you only have 5,000 tickets, then that's fine. You can do it inventory. So we're going to get to the actual simple product again. But what we've just looked at right here is the virtual and downloadable products, right? So now that we've done that, we know how to do that. You can set the expiry rate, download limit, and all that stuff. Not a big deal. We're going to go back to our simple product that is not downloadable. So something like a simple smartphone, not the smartest smartphone, but gets the job done. We're going to give a price. So let's say that the price of this simple product is $600. We can give a discount. So let's say that we're giving, let's say 10% off is $60. So let's say we're giving $60 off. So the sale price is going to be $540. So 10% off, all right? Sale price. Now the tax status and the tax class. I remember in the previous part of this tutorial. And if you're watching a standalone part of this tutorial, you can go ahead and watch a main tutorial or one of our e-commerce tutorials. And you'll see that the tax status can be none. So it's not going to be taxed, or only if it's shipping or it's taxable. And this is going to mean that once we're checking out, we're going to apply some tax rate. But which tax rate are we going to apply? Well, it depends on the tax class. Remember, we created these different tax classes, and they all have different rates. So you can go ahead and use one of these. So I'm going to use a standard rate for this one, but we've already discussed taxing and so on. You can check out that tutorial here, or it's linked above, or it's in the description, or it's on our YouTube page. We've explained everything in detail, very slowly, so that everyone can understand. So we're going to say standard. Now, inventory, we're going to say that for this simple product, you can input your SKU right here, or your GTN, or whatever it is. So for our book, it's going to be your ISBN. You can track stock quantity, and we're going to say we have 100 of these in stock. And if you may or may not want to allow back orders. That's going to be very dependent on you and your personal preferences. No problem with that. And low stock threshold. So when we have only 10 products remaining, and remember, we said it that the low stock threshold in WooCommerce is 10, which is right here. So if we're going to set 10 for the low stock threshold, we don't have to change it. It's just going to be the default. But if you want to save for 5, then fine. All right. And it's going to say that once we get to this amount of products, WooCommerce is going to send us a notification that, hey, you're running out of stock. You might want to restock. That's good. And sold individually. You can do this, right? Special cases. For example, if something is scarce, only one person should get one per order. You can go ahead and do that. No problem. Shipping. We have discussed shipping, and we talked about different shipping classes, heavy stuff and light stuff. We're going to say this is a light stuff, and this is where you can add the weight and the dimensions. It's going to be helpful when you're shipping and packaging and the like. So go ahead and enter this information as best as possible. Linked products. You can upsell and you can cross-sell. Let's learn the difference between an upsell and a cross-sell. It says an upsell are products where you recommend. Upsells are products which you recommend instead of the currently viewed product. For example, products that are more profitable or better quality or more expensive. Meanwhile, cross-sells are products which you promote in the cart based on the current product. Now, here's the interesting thing. For the upsell and the cross-sell, here's the easiest way to think about it. Never worry about that example that I just read, that explanation. Think of going to Burger King, Five Guys, McDonald's, wherever, a burger chain, right? When you buy a burger, if you buy a small burger, let's say you buy a 4-inch burger, the upsell would be to a 6-inch burger. It's a bigger burger or a double-decker burger, all right? Something that's bigger. Meanwhile, the cross-sell would be Coke, that's a drink, or fries, coleslaw, nuggets, Slurpee, smoothie, whatever the case might be, something that you're going to add to the burger. So the upsell is going to be a bigger burger, pricier burger, more profitable burger. But the cross sell is going to be adding fries, adding drink, adding coleslaw, adding chicken, adding nuggets, adding a smoothie, etc. Now you can go ahead and set your upsells. We haven't done too many products, so I'm not going to. I'm just going to see. I'm going to see if there's I think there's one called Sellable or something like that. It's going to select one product and all right. So these are just the dumbest stuff. Like I really don't know, because this is a demo site. All right, that's it. We're not going to look at attributes because that's going to be under advanced verbal products. We're not going to look at advanced either. And that's that. No. For our brand, you can add a brand. I'm just going to say this is the Zeilhan brand just for this tutorial, but I'm pretty sure that for your product, you're going to have a brand already, which is not going to be such a huge deal. Product tags, you can add your tags, you can add your categories. So I'm just going to add simple product for the category. All right, guys. And we've explained tags and categories already. And product image, just going to use the white image in this example. All right. And for the gallery, I'm going to add the white logos yet again. Just press and hold control, and you can select multiple pictures, add to gallery. And that's good. Then go ahead and publish. After you've published, let me just close my lorem ipsum. You can open a new tab, and this is going to be your simple product. Now, the logo is here, so I perhaps should use the black logo because you really can't see it. All right, I'm going to add one more. I'm just going to add one more right here and update. After it's updated, I am going to refresh right here. All right, so here we go. And this is the product and the like and the like and the like. All right, really good, really amazing. And this is going to be, I think this is the this is the cross sell, something that you can add to it. And I believe the upsell is somewhere here or wherever, not sure. So that's it for a simple product. Let's go back and we're gonna add a new product. All right. This is going to be a grouped product, which is all right. Let's go ahead and say grouped product. So I don't remember if so we have that. And for the short description, I'm just going to use like only this. All right. That's just going to be for the short description. It's a grouped product. You can have your SKU and the like. And this is where you're going to do it. Now, here's how the grouped product work. I have a shirt right here, a nice shirt. You can't see it, but believe me, I do have pants on. You might want to sell this shirt with this pant that I have on together as one order. That's where you would list the products right here. So I'm just going to go with two products. I'm pretty sure two of them are going to appear here, 1 and 2. All right. So I press and hold control and that happened. And that's going to be it. And you can upsell, not going to go through that. It explains itself. Just going to do the Zeilhan brand. Yes, again, we can do the categories and the tags like we said. For the category, I'm going to do grouped product. For the image, you're going to add images of your products individually or together. Together is preferable. All right, so let's go ahead with that again and close. Let's go ahead and add the gallery. Hold control. All right, and do that and publish. And this is going to be our grouped product. That's view product. All right. Link in new tab, view product. And this is good. Now you can select each product separate. And all right. So here it goes. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go back and this is good. So we'll add a grouped product. It would be nice if you can select both products here instead of viewing them. It doesn't seem so. I think in some tutorials we have that. So I think it depends on the template. But it'd be very nice if on the group product screen we can order the products without actually going to them. But it might be beneficial to go to the product. Whatever the case might be, let's not lose our heads over that. Grouped product. Now for the next product we're going to create, I think it's going to be the affiliate product. Let me just go ahead and check. So external or affiliate. And I'm just going to say affiliate product. And we're going to do that yet again and do that yet again. And go ahead and delete that. And that's good. Now we have inventory. We have the linked attributes, etc. Don't worry about that stuff. What we're going to focus on right now is a product URL and the button text. Now, here's the thing. You're familiar with affiliate marketing. Let's say that this is a bullet cup. Bullet is selling these and I've become an affiliate. I have a link where it so happens that if you use my link to buy one of these, I get a commission. All right. So what's going to happen is that I'm going to add this product to my store using my affiliate link. And once you use that link, you're going to purchase on Bullet's website and the like. So that's where you're going to grab the URL and paste it right here. I normally take a look at my own store for affiliate products, which is right here. And this is really nice. I like that shirt. Be epic or be nothing at all. Just go ahead and grab that right there. We're going to redesign this website, guys. It was really beautiful when it was first made, but now it needs some work. We acknowledge that. Just haven't gotten around to it. And I'm just going to copy this and paste it right here. I'm going to say buy affiliate product. The price here is $60 or $62. I'm gonna say sure, go ahead and buy it for $62. We can get it for $55, and taxable tax class, all that explains itself. And in the next part of the next product, we're going to explain the advanced attributes. Our attributes and advanced work together. All right, then we have all of that. We are going to yet again do the brand and product tags and categories. I'm just going to say affiliate grouped, no, affiliate external. All right, add new category. You can do the images. I haven't downloaded the sweater image that we just got, but perfectly fine. No issues. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. There we go. And go ahead and publish. I'm going to close these tabs to the right. And I'm going to go view product, which is my affiliate product. After I view product, it's right here. We can go ahead and say buy product. It's going to lead us to the website. Notice a change in the URL, and it takes us here. And this is where we can change it. Now, if you notice here, which is what we're going to learn next, we can change the size and the medium. And if we go back to the store, which is going to be an interesting part of the tutorial for you, you can, let's see, I think this one is good. Perhaps not. Let's see. I don't think we can change the color, but different sizes give you different prices, and that's what's called an advanced product. And you can also have it such that different sizes with different colors have different prices. All right, let's see if there's an example right here. I know there's one product that actually has that. Let me just look for that product, see if it's there. I think this is one of them. So different colors and different sizes have different prices. All right, guys, and you're gonna notice that, which is pretty cool. All right, then. So that's that. Gonna close, and we're gonna add new product, which is the last product we're gonna take a look at. Then we're just gonna do a quick test checkout, or we're gonna do coupons and checkout. This one is supposed to be variable product. Come on, variable product. All right, so it says variable product. I'm gonna add our. All right, so that long description is gone. So we're gonna do that. Delete that, and just copy this small part here and paste that for the short description, variable product. So everything is fine. General inventory. Notice you're not setting the price here because different variations of the product will have different prices. Inventory, shipping, linked products, you can do all of that stuff. Attributes. You're going to start with the attribute. So one of the attributes we're going to have is color. And I'm going to say blue pipe. So this pipe icon is going to be the icon above the enter key. You press shift and press the button above the enter key and get that. Blue, red, and green. And we're going to add a new attribute. This is going to be size. I'm going to go with small and large. And we're going to save these attributes. So we have two attributes, color and size. Now, here's how we're going to work. We're going to have small and large as a size. We're going to have red, green, and blue as a color. You can have a red, small, red, large, green, small, green, large, blue, small, blue, large. I think I said that properly. So how we do that is those are called variations. So the red and the size and the color are the attributes. The variations are going to be the combination of those attributes to create a product. All right, which is what we just looked at with the clothing store. So we're going to go now to variations, and we're just going to say generate variations, and it's going to do this for us. Just scratch my chest, and okay. This is good. So blue small, blue large, red small, red large, green small, green large. All right, good. Now, here's the interesting thing. Each of these products you can edit. You can give it an image. You can set a price. You can set a sale price. You can status all the information. You can, same as parent is good. Don't sweat it. And you can add a description. All right, then. And you can do the same thing for blue. Let's say blue is actually $70 and there is no sale. and whatever the case might be, and you save your changes. And you do that for all these variations. Now, I haven't set a color, a picture for blue, which is, I'm just use that gentleman and save changes. What we're save changes because that's important. And you can do swatches. So if you go to the store, I'm going to show you what the swatches are. These are the swatches that are green, white, and yellow. So you can go ahead and hit swatches and type color and type select and all right, yeah. And we're going to save these changes for the swatches. You're going to see it in a few. Set the brand, tag. These are variable products. And you're going to add some images. All right. Add a gallery. All right. Add a gallery. And we are going to publish these changes. And after we've published these changes, let's just go ahead and view the product, which is interesting. This is going to be beautiful. It's not going to be as beautiful, but it's beautiful enough. All right, so here we are, blue, red, and green. I think for the swatches, color, and blue, you're going to want to select blue. All right. Dual color, that's quite interesting. That's nice. And red, you're going to want to select red. And green, you want to select green. And that's a tooltip. For the size, you can go ahead and just say size, all right, which is what you're seeing right here. For the size, you can say small or large, which is why I said select for this option. You can also say button. Go ahead and save changes. Then we're going to refresh. You're going to see the swatches change color. All right, so red, blue, green. And the red, we have to set the products, right? So we have to set the products. I think we did green. No, we did blue only. And notice that this would actually be the option for blue small based on what we've said. And that's it for variable products. I absolutely love variable products. They're just so really beautiful to put together. And I like grouped products as well because it's a very unique way of getting sales on your website. So these are very good, what we've done so far. Absolutely love what we've done. Really good. And yes. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a test checkout. So just go to our cart and delete that. We are going to go to our shop. All right, let's close shop and close shop. Oh wait, I'm going to do the coupon first. So go back to your dashboard, go to marketing and coupons. Now, why you need coupons? Sometimes you go to a store and they say get 25% off your first order, and they give you a coupon that can be done. So just go ahead and say create your first coupon. So I think it's the overview. It says you can do smart coupons, powerful all-in-one solution for gift certificates, store credits, discount coupons, and vouchers. Just go ahead and click on the smart coupon. Oh, you have to buy the plugin. It's $10.75 monthly, bill annually at $129. So they've gone to a subscription model. All right, I mean, it's worth it for what it's gonna do for you. But we'll just go ahead and create our first coupon without that. I'm gonna say save 10%. And let's go ahead and save 10% off your first order. Discount type. So what kind of discount? Is it a fixed card discount where you're going to say $100 off, which is what some coupons are, $10 off? Is it going to be a percentage where in this case we're giving 10% off? Or is it a fixed product discount for a specific product you're giving a specific discount? For this, it's going to be percentage and we are giving 10%. Beautiful. Free shipping? No, because you can. But remember, even if you give your customers free shipping, it's not free to you. You're still going to have to pay, right? So you can do free shipping. Not going to do free shipping for this. The expiry date, I'm going to leave it indefinitely, but you can say this sales. So let's say you have a sale going on last 3 days and you give a coupon to everyone who signs up to your newsletter that can be used during that time. Then this is where you do that. Usage restriction. minimum spend. So on the clothing store that I just showed you, if you're watching a complete tutorial, if you purchase something over $100, you get free shipping. All right. So you can have a discount where you say you have to purchase over five. If all orders over $500, you get 10% off. You can do that for the minimum, for the maximum spend. The maximum is saying that if you set the maximum spend, it means that for orders over a certain amount, the coupon doesn't apply because it's a percentage. It's gonna add up. 10% of 50 and 10% of 5,000 is a very different amount of discount. All right. You can individual use, so only what this coupon can only be used by itself, which I like this. It can't be used with other coupons. And exclude sale items. If an item is on sale, the coupon doesn't work on it. So if you have an item that's already 10% off, you can apply the 10% off coupon and get another 10% off, which is, I like that security. You can apply it to certain products. You can apply it to all products except for the few products here. You can apply it to certain categories. You can apply it to all categories except for certain categories. Only some emails can have this coupon, only some brands, and all brands except for this brand. So that's kind of how that is. If you don't understand, just go over it again. It's fairly intuitive. And usage limits. How many times can each coupon be used? Usage limit per coupon. So you can say unlimited usage, especially for 10% off. But if it's a unique coupon you're saying to one person, you might just want to say you can only use it once. It depends. Limit usage to X items. Only certain items can get a coupon. All right, that's good. So you can do that. And limit usage per user. How many times can the person use this coupon? How many users can use this coupon? Only one user, unlimited. If it's something you're going to send to everyone, then it's definitely unlimited usage only one usage per user and unlimited usage. So the coupon can be used several times, but only one person, but each person can only use it once. So if you're sending it to your email list, this is the option that you will say. Unlimited usage, so the coupon can be used unlimitedly, but only one person can use, each person can only use the coupon once. All right. And you go ahead and publish these changes. There's a coupon code, save 10%. I think I need to fix this. So I'm going to say save 10 because I don't want to have to remember that. Go ahead. Or you can just generate coupon code, which isn't the most interesting name for a coupon. Go ahead and publish changes. Now we can go ahead and do the test checkout. So we're on the store. All right. We have this bike right here. Nice bike. So let's go ahead and click on this bike. We're going to get one of them. Let's see the blue one or the orange one. Orange doesn't look too bad. Going to add to cart. All right, there are other related products that you can add right here. All right, once you've added to cart, we can view cart. Notice that on the cart, we can add a coupon. So we can add it here and apply. I'm going to go ahead and apply here. You're going to see the discount. So notice it's 10% off. All right, and it gives us the name of the coupon. Let's proceed to checkout. On the checkout, I'm going to add my name and address and everything like that. You're not going to see it, but that's fine. You can ship to a different address if you'd like, no problem. But here's what we mentioned. So if you've been watching the entire tutorial from start to finish, you're going to notice that we did set up these different shipping for rest of world. All right, guys. So you can go ahead and do that. If we change our address to United States, Myrtle Beach. If you change to United States, then you're gonna have different options available. So actually, let me just add the address properly. I think the zip code is 29572 for Myrtle Beach. All right, and state. Where is my state? South Carolina. All right. I set the state. And it says right here, free shipping in-state, local pickup, in-state customers. And it's just a GCT of, I think it's 15%. All right. So whatever case might be, that's there. You can add the phone, etc. So just going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to say cash on delivery to make things easier. The shipping is there. It's working. It's fine. I don't like the GCT number. I think the GCT number is wrong because it's supposed to be. So I think this is 0.15% that we've done for the GCT. So I'm going to go back here And I'm going to go to WooCommerce settings. I think I entered the GCT number incorrectly. Let's go to tax, go to standard rate, and the GCT is supposed to be 15%, so maybe this isn't 15%. That's 0.15%. So it's going to be 15.00 because it's at 4 decimal places. And save changes. Then I'm going to refresh this page. All right. Now the GCT look like it's calculated properly. All right, $78. So 10, it's 58, and after that is 24 plus 58, 78. There, about. That's good. And we have all the information as we need it. And this looks good. I'm going to go with cash on delivery and remove that. All right, don't worry about the address. It's just messing up, making things slow. Go ahead and place order. So I need to keep all my information. All right, let's go ahead and place order. All right, the order is placed and it's right here. All right, guys, it's right here. Order is placed. I'm not going to look at the address because that's going to make things hard for me. Now we're going to go back to the dashboard. I remember we used the coupon as well, which is awesome. We're going to go to WooCommerce orders. You're going to notice that this is the order that we've just purchased, we just placed. All right. You can go ahead and just click on this order. Once the order is complete, you can change the status from processing to completed. And you can view the order here. All the order information is here. It's going to be blurred out for you guys, but it's there. And that's it. So that's really it for the WooCommerce tutorial. And like I said, we're going to show you how to get sales, get leads, create an e-commerce website. This is a big part of it. And thank you guys for watching. My throat hurts. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, if you learned something, go ahead and hit subscribe. I think I'm done talking for the rest of the day. Cheers.